frozen over like I am. Well, I know you know that like it's colder, colder when I'm older, older than I am. And I know you know that I have lost composure, but I'll hold you closer while I can. I never told you that I'm slightly broken, that I might lose focus when I am. I know you know that life gets colder, colder when you're frozen over like I am.
It's time for some NECC Rocket League. Joining me here today is Pyro J. My name is Bearlight. We're about to get into some insane matches right off the rip. Pyro J, nothing better than to kick off a week with something as special as we have tonight.
Nothing better whatsoever. I am thrilled to be brought on for NECC, especially with you, Bearlight, because we have a stacked set of matches today. Let's take a look at who we're starting out with here. Oklahoma Christian Eagles versus St. Clair Green. This is top of the line collegiate right here too. Top 8 worthy teams when you talk about the National League, but also here at NECC. Obviously, also classic NA versus EU matchup, Bearlight. So a lot to get excited about here.
Oh, I'll tell you. I mean, this is a matchup that we've seen plenty of times before when we talk about the colleges themselves. But Arju joining in on St. Clair is something I've definitely got my eye on. The impact that he's made just in a Rocket League RLCS generality. He's been absolutely fantastic. You add him to this team with Zai and Jazzy, and that's just absolutely something special. Adding to that, argument for EU that maybe they're a little bit better than NA. I don't know. Obviously, we see it in RLCS where they've developed into that. But OC Esports, too. I mean, the Eagles bringing that same lineup, that's tried and true.
Oh, tried and true and reliable with that league there. The team for the Eagles, absolutely. But you called it out. I'm thinking about it. You're thinking about it. We're all thinking about it. Arju is about to bring a masterclass to this match. That is the person that you are looking out for. That car, ram into him if you can, because he has got it all. Swiss Army knife in terms of talents from defense to offense to mechanics. And at this point, if you're looking at the last RLCS regional, top 4 from Team Evo. So let's get to it. Let's get to this NECC matchup. Best of 7, first to 4. We got all cars on the field, and we got you ready to witness Rocket League greatness. Bearlight, let's get to it.
Of course, OC Esports, who actually just recently lost their director, and I knew Lucas Hayworth really well, and he made the announcement just last month, and so I'm really anxious to see this team and how they're able to react to losing a leader like that. I mean, he was absolutely outstanding in building this from a club program, a student-led club program, into a top 5, top 10 for sure, esports program across the country. So their ability to band together is certainly something I'm looking at.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because truly these matches are more than just the 6 players you see. It is the infrastructure built around by the leadership of these teams. And I think you'd like to see the team pop off and know that his leadership already finds its way through the dynamics of this group. Wow, I thought we were going to see our first goal right there. Arju almost ends up on the wrong side of the ball as well. So while you want to see greatness, a little bit of slip-ups almost seeing their way through.
Jazzy's given a lot of room here in this and try to bump one off as well. Zai going to let this settle down. Arju on this side wall goes ceiling high, looking to get that extra touch off the foot reset. And although was able to direct it on target, G-Man stood in the way, as we've seen so many times before.
So if you're wondering and you got an eyebrow up looking at that car there from Jazzy, that is a gizmo. That is indeed the gizmo. That is a rare card to see. Normally you don't see it unless you accidentally do a bot match and one of the bots pop in. But wow, what a card to bear witness to. Jazzy, great player on this roster, and already kicking things into gear with a pass over to Arju. Reset, double tap on target, but saved by Chili.
Oh, I wanted to see that one. They're still up for it, though. Jazzy looking to cause a little bit of chaos too. Chili now backing off of it. Arju in that 50-50 moment will still play it forward here in the corner and maintains that pressure here from OC. G-Man wasn't able to gather that one. Here's Jazzy back on it with a foot reset. Was aiming towards Zai, but that was shut down by North, and now he's got a chance to try to dribble it out. But G-Man's going to be bullied by Zai right there in midfield, and things kind of settle into place here in this best of 7. St. Clair still putting on this pressure, though, as Arju will look to try to edge that one in from the side of the box. But Chili was wise to it. Jazzy's still on it, though, giving them plenty of space. Finally, OC and the Eagles able to relieve some of that pressure.
And that's going to register as a shot, mind you. Meanwhile, that is the first registered shot of this team. Otherwise, they have been stuck in their half. But like, one thing's going to pay off here in this match: persistence or resiliency. Maybe with a shot here from OC, it'll be the resilient effort. And well, first good look for OC is in.
When your defense is performing like this and you're able to at least hold on for a little bit, sometimes the bend but don't break doesn't work. But in this instance, they were able to reverse field, able to, just put that weight off of your shoulders. It's maybe the second shot of the game, but listen, that's the first goal of the game. And it belongs to the Eagles as they take this 1-0 lead.
And I'll have to be honest here, hold on, we almost see this breakaway come to formation. G-Man just has a shot saved by Arju. I really think St. Clair getting a little too stylish with it. I mean, they're going for these double resets, they're going for these slow play mechanical maneuvers, and yeah, against lesser teams, this would work great, but OC Sports are much more keen to it and putting a stop to it much earlier.
Oh. And that's a good combination, though. Jazzy was able to storm inbox and equalizer. So, a lot of fancy work there, huh? A couple of resets inside. Located Jazzy on that far side to get it done. So, I mean, I'm not shocked either. A lot of EU players, like, mechanics heavy is what we know them to be. Sometimes you do get too fancy, but in that case, just able to clean Rocket League from end to end.
Yeah, I'm just going to go completely back on what I said. That was, I'll say this, it was fanciness, but it was matched with their speed, their pace of play. Speaking of which, a bullet to the net comes right off the post for OC Esports. They have been clinical. They have been efficient on their chances. They're 1 for 3 in terms of shots, and at this point, really 1 for 2 in terms of their good looks. So maybe in the final 60 seconds as we approach that, they get another. They'll hope to, as they're back on their own line.
Yeah, back on the defense again, but North has got Chile down the field. That's a great pop past one. Now an opportunity to put it on target, but Zai was there for it. Under a minute now, North trying to chop at it, but Jazzy was wise to it, able to get to it as well. Zai aims it forward. Chile couldn't get to it either. It's North and Chile combining. Push this one forward. Arju did track it back. Now North plays it towards target, but that one's not threatening as Arju just sits and waits for it on the backside. It's been happening quite a lot. Passing play up, but Chile read this one, and North able to continue it. It was a very sketchy situation, but the Eagles will get out and now put on some pressure of their own.
Oh, but the turnaround is so quick. Sai trying to climb to another touch to make G-Man an error, I guess, force a mistake, but it just didn't work. Give and go looks saucy, but Chile able to counter it away. And for OC, you feel like they want to see overtime. They want to survive just a little bit longer. North on the long clear meets the ground. G-Man, one last chance. Popped up high. Arju containing with space. Reset up, wide and down. Chile secures overtime.
Yeah, overtime felt like it was on its way. I mean, when you talk about a matchup like this, it happens pretty frequently. And, of course, we'll play witness to a great one in the series. It already kicks off that way. First shot taken, but Zai, great reaction time to jump off that back wall or to make the initial save. Arju looking for Zai, kind of redirect as it was awkward coming up that wall. And because of that, wasn't able to get that pass as cleanly as he wanted to.
Passing plays look so good, though, for St. Clair, especially their ideas, right? They don't execute every time, but you can tell on nearly every counterattack, they have a teammate in their crosshair, and that is such a smart way to play the game. Divvy up the defense, make them look twice, make them think 3 times as 3 defenders are on the line for OC, and that's enough to make that save.
North out to midfield, 50-50, gonna kind of kill it here at this point in time. Arju now able to be past one. It's just Chile back now. Just has to kill some time here, but it's gonna be more difficult said than done as Arju is out for blood. Here's Jazzy, still waiting in this corner. Chile able to get it past him thanks to a bump from a teammate. Eagles still able to escape though nonetheless. Sai gonna go for the Doomsday Dish. Also had some support there, crashing into the box, but not able to get it. That's a double commit though. That'll allow Eagles to try to trash that back wall, but by the time Chile is able to get to it, again, St. Clair able to get to it as well.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Interception from North was needed. Now it's a 1v2. G-Man puts the pedal to the metal, gets the dunk, but it's off target. Bump and boost steals. Good disruption play, though, maybe to put OC in the driver's seat. But here's Jazzy inside. Midfield pass. Arju follow. Top corner. Saved by G-Man. He's up to 6 saves, Bearlight, in this game. Keeping the team intact. Can they keep it out? No, they can't. Arju finishes the job.
That's so unlucky because I was going to call out G-Man for his defensive prowess. He was seeing the field so well. But when you're going up against that level of pressure, against that level of skill, it's so difficult to hold on, even as long as they did, to be quite frank. So St. Clair Green going to take game number 1, and Arju with 8 shots. You only need one of those, though. Shooting percentage, not exactly high here, Pyro J, but it got the job done because eventually they're able to just basically snipe the Eagles out of the sky.
Oh, yeah, the shooting percentage is going to look dismal at best if you're St. Clair Green, but they have zero problems with that. It was all about the pressure. Those give-and-go plays kept OC Eagles stretched, and especially in their defensive side where they stayed for a majority of that game. In fact, I think they're going to feel fortunate just to have a goal in that game because they didn't get a lot of chances. One thing I really want to mention about this game, Bearlight, is the defensive OC, because apparently that's what we're going to watch a lot today, is 10 saves in with that team, but all 10 were from G-Man and Chili. None from North, and that was the player that had to make that last save in overtime that just couldn't get it out of the net. So I think we got to take a closer look at this team to see what role North is playing and where they may need to step up in those dire situations for Oklahoma Christian.
You can get very eager to try to get down the field, especially against a team that plays dynamic as well. And so maybe a bit of North and South might do them some wonders, right?
There you go.
I do think that they did spend a majority of time in their box. So I did see, rotations kind of clean up towards the end. But at the end of the day, you forced overtime, and that was basically a blessing in its own regards. You can't play that same way. Otherwise, you will see St. Clair break out with like a 5-0, 6-0 game, the way that they've been just able to mount all this pressure.
So true. I mean, applause required for OC Esports to keep them at 1, right, in those 5 minutes with all the attack that we saw. So great point to be made. Now, as we get to game 2, will we see the switch or more of the same? Either way, if you're a Rocket League fan, you are eating good because these close matches is everything that we could ask for in Collegiate Rocket League.
There's a save from North right off the bat, maybe filling into that role as well. But yeah, it's been absolutely excellent. That's going to fly all the way back to the St. Clair zone. Good read from G-Man. I was talking about how he's reading the play really well defensively. Well, I mean, that probably see it's going to translate to the offensive side of the ball as well.
Oh, double commit here, but it looks too good. One is for the fake, Sai is for the shot, the setup there, Jazzy shot saved. This is a brick wall from Oklahoma Christian. They deny it again, and Sai goes for the sidewall, but misses. Tried to go wide with it, couldn't quite execute. It's a high-risk, high-reward play, but it'll yield results for OC on the other end.
Jazzy's got to just challenge this one as well as Chili was waiting there, and Sai off the corner. North just chops at it, but no real progress made as Jazzy was able to get to it, or am I mistaken? Able to get it at least past 1 to the box, but that's what it'll die as Arju now trying to handle it. This one pops high. North looking to handle that one, but he's bumped off of it. Now G-Man bounces it high. We'll be able to follow. This one off the corner, but he ran out of boost. We'll need some support. It's just not there. Arju was, so it's St. Clair Green able to get out of harm's way before anything gets started for the Eagles, and it's been that way for the last game and a half.
Yeah. I mean, dare I say this game is getting balanced? We're almost seeing just as much time with the ball spent on the orange half than the blue half in this last minute. That's a really good indicator for OC Esports to grow in this game, develop and start to dig their heel in, develop roots within this field. It's promising, yet, the 0-0, you still wonder. That was a great fake, though, from North. Pass is a bit telegraphed to Chili. That one was going to get intercepted if it did connect. Chile now the last back, so they're going to look to control this ball away from Jazzy, but you can't quite get away from Jazzy if they're going for the demo.
No, can't get out of harm's way. Look at North again out for this one. Chile was causing all sorts of chaos early with the demos, too. The physicality has really opened up the field here for the Eagles. And G-Men trying to get back to it, but again, they're just so quick to get the ball. North looking for G-Man. Had him, but just a little bit too far out in front of him. I was able to get that demo, and Sai, good patience here as well. Now he'll have some room, but he was bumped off of it. Still did a great job to hang with that play as well up the corner. Now some support in the shot, a little bit off the mark too, as that one will hit off the post, ring out all the way back to St. Clair's end.
Oh no, Jazzy's already prepared for the flip reset pass, and they go for the bump. That's the perfect play. Top corner, counterattack, executed flawlessly.
You could sense the other side of the pitch. I mean, RSU did a great job to handle business and found Jazzy there. Just perfectly located, perfectly executed. These two connect on such a frequent basis these days, and it's a beauty to watch. We saw a bit of it in game one. We'll see it again here as they'll take this 1-0 lead.
Ooh, a little fakery on the kickoff. You like to see it after such a clean play. Just some disheveled Rocket League. That's the balance that I love about this car soccer game. It's never perfect. But when you watch Arju get yet another flip reset attempt to Jazzy, then you start to think, well, maybe there is near perfection in Rocket League. OC Esports going to be called to action here in the final minute. You can't just play and wait out the mistakes. In this final minute, you've got to press.
And North's got some room again. That help from the physicality. Going to launch something there, but just stopped in its tracks again. As St. Clair's tracking it extremely well. Putting on more pressure side there. And a good fake there in the box as well. Allowed RSU to jump into it. A 2-0 lead for St. Clair.
Taking a look here, the fake, was it intentional? It's still hard to tell. I wonder if Jazzy was called off, but either way, Arju was there to take the shot or take the 50. If you're OC, how do you even read that?
So difficult to do, especially in that moment, right? You have to be reactionary, live in that moment, be able to execute. And for the Eagles, they just have been one step behind, it seems. They did a better job of making things feel a little bit equal when we talk about field, possession, but overall, it just not much has changed here as far as pressure goes. St. Clair right back to you. North, prime opportunity. They need to get something here in the next 10 seconds.
I like the ceiling pass. Good chance, but Arju now fuel tank and full fuel tank, and looking to take this time off the clock. That'll about do it, no matter how much fuel he's got in that tank there.
Well, I mean, St. Clair's definitely got more fuel in the tank in the first couple of games. This will be another victory here for St. Clair. So credit the Saints for what they've been able to accomplish just from a pure skill standpoint, just pure ball control standpoint here at this point in time. And nothing doing here for the Eagles. I was talking about how it might be a 5-0, 6-0, but instead it should be a 3-0 finish here for St. Clair Saints as they get it done again here in game 2.
It's almost crazy to highlight the defense of Oklahoma Christian when, they just lost another game, right? And they didn't even score themselves. But again, in that first minute of gameplay, that's what I was the most impressed by. But let's shift the conversation, Bearlight, because actually what I want to discuss in this break is the midfield domination. Every single time that OC get a chance the other way, St. Clair's Green's counterattack is immediate and it's executed so well. There's so much open space in that midfield. We saw the first goal. It was Arju on the pass from their own end, got the flip reset to get the bump on the first defender, and Jazzy put it top corner. OC need to start to suffocate that space. You can't allow St. Clair Green to direct those flawless plays.
I mean, let me bring your attention back to Dr. Boomin. I mean, Jazzy's been doing it for an extremely long time. When you have, CRL world champions, they know how to get it done. And that no hesitation attitude is a lot of what you've seen from some of the top CRL performers, some of the top collegiate Rocket League performers in general. And that's something that makes them successful. But it's not just about being there at all times. It's about being able to time it. And for me, I thought they've done a great job of being able to lock it down, know when to cut if they need to versus just a full back rotation. That just screams the ability of field recognition, to trust your ability to create plays. And that's what we've seen through the first couple of games.
Bringing me back to those Dr. Boomin days with
Good times, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, CRL champions. And hey, listen, I watched that game on the stage as it was there, and Sai, I mean, he was a champion in the making.
That's right.
Still someone to really keep our eye on as we move our way through this match. Sai, ooh, with Arju. Trying to get that counterattack going. I'm telling you, that's especially where my eye is. Jazzy, opposite corner, set away by North.
Once again, playing backwards, the Eagles like to find some sort of sustained pressure. Not this time around. Jazzy finds Zai. Maybe right on cue. Had it lined up, locked and loaded, but G-Man had different ideas. Just trying to find that far side as well to find Jazzy. Nothing doing. And North actually able to press it in, but by the time he does, there's fuel out of that tank. It'll be RGU to press it back in once again here for St. Clair.
Never saying fuel tank again. I'm just still haunted by that. But Arju, oh man, that's gonna do it, isn't it? Just stakes his claim in that domain, sends it through.
Again, just catching the Eagles in a bit of mismanaged position, I suppose, and it's easy to kind of fall into that pit, especially the way that St. Clair has been basically circling like sharks in the water as they tasted blood as they've first couple games. I mean, they've definitely been able to dissect. And a good chance there for G-Man, though. They need something now. The Eagles, the fact that they were shut out last game certainly isn't helping.
Oh, yeah, it's the desert out here. I mean, what's going to quench their thirst in terms of points on the scoreboard? It feels like there's no gaps when it comes to the St. Clair gameplay, especially, again, they just dominate this midfield. I don't know if it's speed or it's the ability to obtain those midfield resources that's going to dictate the change for OC. But here we go with more midfield passing plays. Jazzy almost with the goal of the match. Unbelievable sidewall that is later punished by G-Man.
And there's some of that decision-making that made OC esports so successful over the past year or so. It certainly wasn't their extreme mechanics. No, they're not too far behind. But it was that cohesion. It was playing together. It was recognizing. It was physicality. That's what we saw, little highlights of through the first little bit of the series. And I'd like to see them get back to that. That's their true strength. I know it's hard to do because you just lost your leader, but I'd love to see more of that cohesion. That's why G-Man was able to equalize here.
Wow, what a skim there. G-Man taking it across the width of the court. North, fumbles the ball. Fortunately, G-Man was vigilant. Saw the shot taker, took them out of the field. Now you've got the turnaround. Jazzy, no boost, flips it down. Right in the hands of Chili. Passing play might just work. You gotta be kidding me. G-Man, there it is. Tic-tac-toe, and you got your second.
Just like they drew it up, am I right? My goodness, what kind of pinball action was that? Listen, they hit a jackpot on that pinball action. Throws back to the 80s on that one. First lead of the series. Very important here for OC, by the way. So love to see them kind of taking steps in the right direction. And hey, listen, if fortune's going to be on your side, you want to make good use of it, be able to finish it at the end of the day. So, hey, credit Eagles here for finally soaring up atop.
I mean, they're the captains of chaos right now. I think that's the best way to put it, right? St. Clair Green have had a chokehold on this game, on the tempo, on the pace, on the midfield. But in these moments where there's chaos, on that last play and from Jazzy's sidewall that everyone was watching to wait to see if it went in or not, OC have capitalized. So somehow they need to knock St. Clair off their rhythm and continue to create chaos.
Yeah, some teams just thrive off that, but this one awkward. Still, St. Clair wasn't able to finish it, so we'll fall back down to the ground. And sometimes when you're stuck in chaos, you got to get out of it. And here's a good way to do it. Sai up, tried to get that touch and did. Problem was he wasn't able to direct it on target, and Jazzy's trying to stick with it too. This will go out mid, but Sai wasn't able to get around it. A little bit too hot to handle in that moment. And that'll force them backwards out to midfield, and that presence still remains as Arju Looking for a pre-jumping Psy and the demo, but North able to get over in time and make a big save.
We asked North to fill in that role when your players are gone and you have to make the save. Can you show up? They did. They had one defender low and North high, who had to make the very accurate shot out of St. Clair Green. Now, is that the job finished? Not quite, but they're getting close here. Under a minute remaining with that lead. The first lead of OC still intact.
And North is after it again, all the way up to the ceiling this time, and the extra touch is in the back pocket. All right, Eagles showing up now as Zai tried to escape and just couldn't find it because North read it so well.
Again, you've got these moments where there's an unexpected dunk or 50-50 that goes OC's way, and St. Clair Green, they're always positioned for the counterattack, so they find these moments where, well, they're not ready to make those saves. Now they've got the turnaround on the kickoff, ground pinch towards the near post that gets saved, and maybe one more save, and OC get their first win.
It's possible. They just need to kill time. 25 seconds left. We know how many goals St. Clair can put up in back-to-back fashion, so you have to keep gas to the pedal. And right now, G-Man just trying to kill more of it. Little touch past the last defender, and that'll kill a lot of it. And now sealing the deal is North. St. Clair really looked lost in this last half. Chaos was certainly part of it. But now your touches like that, unfortunately for Jazzy, not exactly what you want there. And so looks like OC Esports have some life breathing a little bit now.
It's not what you want, but it's really all you can do. You're hoping that maybe someone's positioned for a long ball redirect off your own backboard. But yeah, that game is over. OC able to stack the success here in game number 3. And well, for those hoping for a little more competitive Rocket League, maybe a longer series, you gotta be celebrating. Oklahoma Christian take their first win.
And it's not exactly pretty, I'll be honest. But at the end of the day, you have to be opportunistic, especially up against a team like St. Clair Green, who's only gotten better, if that was possible, over the past semester. So credit for them for getting it done. Again, the shot count was a true concern of mine coming into that one. They weren't able to establish much pressure at all. The demos, the physicality, were able to open up the pitch. So they were able to get some more of those shots, take more, throw them off that rhythm like you were talking about, Pyro J. So they must have been listening to you, because clearly that's what they were able to do. They accomplished it. And guess what? You get a dub on the board at the end of the day.
They do. They do get the W. They were the kings of the chaos. And off those demos, off those bumps, off those pinball plays, they made it work. So credit to the cohesion of those opportunistic moments that OC were able to capitalize on. I would still say the midfield is leaning in favor of St. Clair, which is still going to be a threat to Oklahoma Christian, right? That game, they were still going for wild sidewalls that were way too close to going in. Again, St. Clair Green will mechanically peak on you, so you've still got to be ever so vigilant against that here as we get into game number 4.
No doubt. A more balanced effort. I don't think anybody's going to argue about that, especially when we talked about North and his ability to fill in that role defensively. And G-Man is doing the same thing he's been doing all series long. He's been great on both sides of the pitch, hoping his team would really join him in that effort. And we were able to see that in game number 3 and see if it continues here as the Eagles look to build on what they're able to accomplish in game number 3.
That's what it's all about. Building on the foundation that you start with in these Rocket League matches. Every match is different. You've got to address the dynamics against your team that you're playing and figure out what works. Play to your strengths. Again, when it's the moment to fight, OC will bring that fight to them. The scoring run continues.
Yeah, and you just win the board battle. It's just like hockey. I didn't really like that commitment, though, from St. Clair into the corner. It seemed like there was just no communication at all. They seemed lost again. And maybe it's just carrying over from last game. You had a minute to talk it over between games. You got to get it fixed. For St. Clair, that's a little bit of a warning sign for me. Obviously, don't throw up a red flag by any means. You still got the series lead. But you wanted things to go better, and right now they're just not.
Sounds like Bear Life's ready to throw out that red flag. Press the panic button. 2-0 here. Oklahoma Christian happy for their efforts. I mean, it's funny, right? We haven't seen opening possessions like this from Oklahoma Christian. I truly feel like we're in uncharted territory. The St. Clair defense is getting tested in ways that we haven't seen before. And guess what? They're not passing those tests.
They got to find each other with quicker passes. I mean, they or look for a solo play. I mean, that's also a possible solution here. OC Esports have been reading them extremely well, so you have to beat them, whether it be through the air or just quicker passes. But these long stretch passes that they're able to get away with, for lack of better phrasing, it just hasn't been there in the last couple of games, and they haven't made any adjustments to really make me believe that they've got that figured out quite yet.
Can you make Bear Light believe? Come on, St. Clair Green. Let's see. Otherwise, Oklahoma Christian, they'll continue to capitalize here on these offensive moments. Chili, that's a lovely read, and why not combine it with the wall dash? Makes St. Clair's job a little bit tougher. North with that read, leaving this one for G-Man. 50 goes the way of St. Clair, and Chili is called to action. Wonderful. Ascent up to that ball to deny the midfield shot. Bomb of a clear meets Jazzy, and they're going to suck up all the boost they can. Arju has to contend against this one. Finds Sai. Always positioned for the counterattack of St. Clair Green. They're going to evade the ball. Go for the bump. Infield pass to Sai. Arju for the bumps. It's not good enough. OC will release. Ooh, and almost score.
We had the same reaction there because it was that quick. G-Man was ready and launched that one before anybody was ready for it, and almost got it done. But RG now dangerous to space. Flip reset, but unfortunately had to propel himself away from the ball based on where he was in that sequence. And so didn't get a real threatening one on. But we're starting to see them piece it together a little bit. St. Clair finally finding each other in tandem. And that's also a great read to get up to the ceiling to get that challenge.
North went for the ground double again. I mean, listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I love it. He was a half second away from getting that challenge under the ceiling defender. Great opportunity, great chance at it. St. Clair Green, they're starting to get this possession rolling the way they want. G-Man can rip it all apart, though. Air dribble into the reset. Now he's taking off the backboard, searching for the bump, but Arju survives. This bump evasion that St. Clair Green have adapted to has really allowed this this dynamic of the match to neutralize, which I think puts them in favor of more chances. That infield pass, though, not met. G-Man, make it happen. Double tap into the top corner.
This series has been labeled by G-Man's great ability to create plays, but to create that one was Chili. He did a great job from that backside to set him up in the first place. Great reaction time to line it up, and 404 error. No defense found. Hello, St. Clair. Are you awake? It's game number 4. Come on, you guys know you have you had a 2-game lead, right?
Yeah. Absent like the eggs in the dairy aisle these days. Come on, where are you at? And why does it feel like they've got to spend more boost as well to get these chances? I don't know. But 70 seconds. A tall mountain to climb. St. Clair Green, can they get it started? Reset to give it a chance. Holds the reset as long as they can. It still doesn't pay off.
6 minutes now. It's been like a lot, and finally right on cue. May have jinxed it the right way, at least in the St. Clair ways of looking at it. 51 seconds left and a chance here.
Chance is all you need. Arju's been huge on the bump plays. Kind of trying to get down to dirty, right? If you can't get the perfect reset, bump, pass, then, you know, pop up the ball and clear the path yourself. Really like it from Arju, but of course, more work needed. Bomb off the backboard is met by a monster clear from G-Man. More time taken away as Jazzy catch release on the reset. G-Man weak, clear. North assists, though, in the save.
Yeah, there's nothing that Zai can do about it. They're not only recovering and going back towards the third man rotation, but also it just wasn't the right time to strike in. But St. Clair, given the opportunity, they might take it. Jazzy flip reset, able to put it on target. Two will commit. A chance for Zai now to try to settle it in. Try to direct it towards him, but Chili was to it, and with 10 seconds left, that might have killed enough time. St. Clair starting to cook a little bit, but it took him too long to get it done this time. Eagles of OC. They're able to get it done here and get the victory to equalize the series at 2.
North's like, just end the game, guys. I'm pretty sure he saved his teammate shot there at the end, but a win is a win. You called out G-Man for the performance and his setups, but like you mentioned, Chili, 2 assists for him. That is 100% goal participation out of G-Man and Chili. They absolutely know what they're doing to coordinate the goals. And we have just seen this tidal wave of a shift in momentum, Bearlight, midway through this series, evening out at 2-2. Who do you think really has the edge here? Like, can St. Clair Green make the same big adjustment that OC did to them?
It's a very rare moment to have it where both teams can really change the course of it based on being able to just play the way that they've been playing or meant to play. And for me, I do think that it is St. Clair that has the answer in them because, yes, momentum was rolling over the past couple of games. I'll give you that, and that's 100% accurate. But then you saw it captured a little bit towards the tail end. You started to see little flashes of it towards about halfway through that game where the passing started to become a little bit more crisp like we saw in the first couple of games. The way they were able to accomplish that was with touches, not only those quick touches like I was telling you about, but also keeping it close to themselves and playing the possession game just a little bit more. They were able to get away with a lot early because there was a lot of space. Now that space has been taken away, it's all about finding the right times to strike, the right alleys to strike. And yes, I think St. Clair is able to, not only able to come back, I think they do take this game, especially the way the momentum has been heading.
There it is. Your Bearlight analysis. You can't get it anywhere else. I'm loving it. I feel comfy in this co-caster seat right now. Getting carried along for the ride. We'll see. And honestly, I might just agree. Ooh, they do need to hit their shots. There we go. How did that one work out for them?
Now, it was RG that basically did all the legwork there. First, I think Chili was just recognizing that it was at the last second, like, oh, RG's not touching that. And that freed up a lot of space. Sometimes you have to create more space if you work well in space. And that's what St. Clair did to get the first goal here.
Man, loving it. So here we go. Tone setter already their way through. Almost see that tie-up game off the kickoff. North still working for it here. RG had to make the quick save. Uses their hop to get down to the ground and pick boost up, though. Great game sense decision there from RG. Always knows somehow the quickest way to navigate to set up the shot as well. Jazzy, saved by North. Now North trying to evade the bump, but it's so difficult. Puts up a wall in conjunction with his teammate. Next one called to action is North and Chili as a flip finds the ball's way to the midfield line. Sai making my heart skip a beat, but he's got the save.
It's a little longer than I was comfortable with, too. And now Chili making it difficult for them, and North will crash through. So St. Clair wasn't ready. They weren't done regrouping here in this instance.
No, and Chili just put in work on zero boost. I think the defenders didn't realize that he was kind of flipping around without any fuel in the tank, and so they had to play the ball as it lied, and Chili just able to navigate that to the goal line for their team to score. Great quick response out of OC.
And can they ride that momentum? I mean, St. Clair, we talked about how they were heating up, so that was a great response and exactly the right time you need it. Build off of it is a whole different story. We'll see Chili and G-Man. They'll communicate. G-Man will be the one to challenge as he's still on it here. North having to jump up to this one. Plenty of boost in the tank. We'll get that extra touch. And a good recognition and patience here from Arju. But is it enough? Chili, flip reset. Falls down to G-Man. And he'll take the lead here for the Eagles just by playing the patient 50-50 and grindy game that they like to play.
Just gotta talk about the vision here. G-Man, 2 defenders to beat. Not a lot of leeway in order to score this shot, but puts it right under both. It's a lovely shot to put Oklahoma Christian ahead. And I'm just still baffled by how the tempo of this game has shifted completely, Bearlight. The first 2 games, OC didn't see a lick of the orange side of the field. Now we're getting the whole half.
Yeah, they've been excellent at being able to change things. Arju trying to put matter in his own hands here as he challenged that back wall for what could have been a double touch. It's Zayed again, but he'll be challenged by G-Man. Jazzy trying to chop it past him, but if you're going to play that low 50-50 game, it's going to be OC that wins. North does get that read. Excellent job to finish that one, and they're up 31.
North, right place, right time. You want to be in tow with your teammate to pick up that 50-50 if it lands right in your lap, and boy, did it. North made everything out of what could have been nothing.
And just stunned are anybody who's here to support St. Clair. Even the St. Clair team seems to be stunned as well, because that pressure that they've been able to sustain has gone by the wayside, and nothing they can really do about it here at this point in time. They're playing right into the hands of OC. Every single little challenge that seems difficult, that they need to dive in for, they just haven't had the answer for. And even when you take a shot, Chile is there prepared. So is the rest of the OC Eagles team. They've been practicing defense since game one.
They have. Their defensive statistics have only increased from the start of this series. And it is to the disappointment of St. Clair. Wow, Arju, no boost, but still elegantly approaches that ball with the flip reset. Zai's going to do the same, deliver the pass to Arju, whose shot is saved as well. It's really interesting to see OC not quick challenge every single play, but instead rely on their goal line defense, which has really shined throughout this match.
Yeah, it has been. And G-Man's been a large part of that. Yes, all the rest of the team has stepped up as well. North has been, way more defensive-minded, and that's allowed him to actually shine on the offensive side of the ball. When you're able to fend off that St. Clair pressure and make some pressure of your own, of course you're going to be involved in some sort of way. But Arju now will tap back and looking for Jazzy to settle it down. Called off of it. I believe that was Arju diving back. G-Man to the settle to the corner, and we'll be able to get it out, at least out to midfield as I try to turn it directly back in. And now St. Clair playing a little bit farther back and allowing OC to get touches that really give them back possession, but they haven't been able to really capitalize on any of it.
No, and sometimes it is failed execution. Jazzy had a pass set up for Arju, but could not deliver on the pass. You've just got scenarios where St. Clair Green, they have the ideas, they just can't coordinate the ball there. It is a fast tempo of the game, so sometimes mistakes will be made. Sometimes a perfect execution just is not there. 30 seconds on their 2-goal lead from OC, and if this goes the way that the last one did, they'll find another in the final seconds.
Trying to hold off St. Clair. They're looking to do just a little bit more, but it's just out of their hands at this point. It seems like they can't get anything past this brick wall that is developed here for OC. They might have another one as this one falls just lazily down to midfield with nobody on it. RSU will send it back, but it's too late. It'll be OC Esports now. Up to, goodness, talk about how the Eagles have just absolutely established and just launched to the next level. They've been absolutely excellent here.
Yeah. Where do you start? Oklahoma Christian, you called out the goal line defense. We really called out the goal line defense of Oklahoma Christian. And to me, that's the thing that has impressed me most, because an adaptation had to be made, right, by Oklahoma Christian. The midfield was completely dominated by St. Clair. These infield passes from the flip resets to the power shots have just been undeniable, and trying to keep up with that pace has been so difficult for OC. So instead, they rely on holding on to the resources, making sure that these high-flying plays don't sprawl them out. Because if you try to quick challenge every single one, you're just going to run out of boost and have to get it back again to fly up again. Instead, they kind of reside on the goal line. They kind of crawl on the backboard and make those challenges that allow them to step up and turn the pitch in reverse and start to get that possession down. And Oklahoma Christian, that adaptation has worked now for 3 straight games. Bearlight, only one more game for them to make it work. They're on double match point here in this best of 7. It has been well earned, but job's not done.
That's right, 3 in a row, but that doesn't mean anything, especially with St. Clair and the way that we know that they're able to capitalize in the first couple of games. Has momentum been on the other side? I would say no. But listen, they can, and they're very capable of being able to get back to it. That boost control is everything for them, so why not get a bump instead of a demo? Don't let them get back to the goal line, which is where they want to live as Oklahoma Christian. Instead, why not just bump them out of the play, make them positionally unsound, and at that point in time, maybe then you can capitalize. We'll see if they get it done here. They will get the first on the board as Jazzy will strike early.
There it is. I mean, we've seen this before, early goals out of St. Clair Green, but this one comes off a awkward touch from Chile. Tried to clear it, but the ball went vertically. St. Clair dominating that space. They come away with the first.
Yeah, try to stick to your guns, essentially. Very difficult to do when OC seems to be over everything. Once again, they're in the right place, right time. G-Man directs it on. The extra touch. Serve as a 50-50. Arju will just toss it away. Arju waits down to the ground as Jazzy tried to find Zai. That extra touch was there. Read by Arju, far post, and that's what I was looking at. A great time to crash in, but just wasn't able to finish. And that'll head out to midfield. Jazzy looking to direct it back in, but he's going to be met by North.
Oh, Chile to G-Man. Nice shot. Beautiful connection. They were lurking in enemy territory and found the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, it's perfectly placed. They knew where G-Man thrives, and it's right there at the top corner of the box and just located them to perfection. Obviously, communication was on point there as well. The boys are feeling it. And OC Eagles, every single time we see St. Clair score in the past 3 games, we've seen an answer directly back from the Eagles.
That's right. How many answers will need to be provided here? They've had a 4-1 victory, a 3-1 victory in previous efforts. Maybe it's only a 2-1 needed. Who really knows, as we're only a minute into this game. There's much more to see. That almost includes a Chile dunk for their second.
Looking for it almost. I mean, that close. G-Man back out and then needing to dive in just in time. They're able to get it done with Jazzy. Now, Zai looking for Arju. He's back up for this one. I don't know if he keep that extra touch. Everybody was smoke screen, but Chile just going to play it back out the length of the pitch. Here's Jazzy from his own corner. He's got Zai if he wants him. Zai's going to wait on that far side. Does get the touch back towards net, but the angle was too hard to try to get around. They're still on it, though. Here's Arju. Given up by G-Man. Great physicality yet again will pay off, but for how much longer? That bend but don't break attitude is almost directly back. St. Clair is finding sustained pressure. Now going to drop off of it. Great job to communicate. Call him off as Jazzy able to tuck that one back par.
I mean, this is just not a shot you expect. Size up for it, so he's going to make a play on the ball, right? No, leaves it instead for Jazzy to put it under the defense. Great call-off moment. We've seen this before from St. Clair, how they've got a lot of players on the attack, but call off the right player to set up the goal. This could be another. Oh, Jazzy won't find their way through it, but wow, still threatening. Sai takes the challenge against Chile, and Chile earns every 50 they need to slow the play down, but it's heating back up as Jazzy closes the loop.
I mean, Arju reacted so quickly here. It just first you jump in and then without any kind of reaction time, got up for that ball so quickly and then tapped it down to the box, knowing you have a teammate in support. And St. Clair is now finding out that it's going to be quicker turns, quicker reaction times. You won with speed in the first couple of games. They're getting right back to it.
And they've been doing this all game. It's just early on they weren't really executing. Their counterattacks were pretty lackluster, super telegraphed. There wasn't a lot of style or spice to them. Now they're hitting the double taps. Now, like you said, their pace has increased tremendously. They're getting the quicker reads. And OC Sports aren't coming away with as many efforts. Another pass deflected by St. Clair.
Yeah, G-Man trying to follow, nothing doing. Jazzy right back out. Chile trying to kill it to the corner. Arju right it, now waiting for it. Tap to the far side. He's trying to make them go horizontally versus the vertical nature that the Eagles had established the last couple of games. G-Man trying to push in. Here's North. Looking and eyeballing Chile, but Arju able to stand tall, stand his ground, and right back out they go.
G-Man lost a teammate in Chile, and so that midfield pass reaches nobody. North had to play defense instead. Has that put them in a jam on the double commit? It may have. Sai takes a pop shot, but that's deflected by North. So OC Sports earn a little bit of the field back. Chile, speaking of back, all the way to their end, picking up the boost, but it's a loose touch, and it almost converts in another goal for St. Clair. OC Esports, they have no room to make mistakes anymore if they want to take the win in this game.
Yeah, all the vibes that we were feeling between them just have not been there. They've disappeared, essentially. They're going to need those back. G-Man trying to start it off by popping up or one. Mission accomplished there, but not the ultimate goal. Still fought away. St. Clair still hanging strong. G-Man try to leave it for a teammate. Chile going to be able to turn on this one. Was rather low on boost there, and G-Man's 50-50 sets up north. An opportunity now. Extra touch. A good reaction time. And a save by Zai.
Yeah, save is there, and honestly, Zai's been more on the defensive end. That is his first shot registered in this game, and boy, is it a good one.
Yeah, this perfect pass placement, and he just flips his car around to get the right angle and the right speed on that shot. It was just absolutely filthy. You'll love to see it from St. Clair. As they needed this answer back, it has been very, very dull for them over the last 3 games. Changed in an instant as St. Clair has woken up and all but given us a game number 7.
I hope everybody in the chat is woken up here, because the fact this is going to game 7 is giving us all the Rocket League cinema that you could ask for out of 2 top collegiate teams. We are going the distance. St. Clair respond after 3 in a row from Oklahoma Christian to decide everything in game 7.
Yes, sir. That's the answer. St. Clair and the Saints really dug deep, was able to change the pace, change the vibes completely in this one. And even though the shot count was still relatively even, they still got it done off the hat trick of Jazzy. And was able to just mount more of that pressure. Arju just doing what he does best. We see it with Team Evo. We see it again here in St. Clair. Just put on pressure, put on shots. And when the Eagles are just forced to make save after save, you don't have time to sustain that offensive pressure like we saw in the last few games.
Nah, you really don't have time. It feels like a bookended performance almost in this series when we had the first 2 wins from St. Clair dominate so much from continued possession and an overwhelming amount of shots against the amount of OC. That pressure has just about resurfaced. The ugly head emerges again against Oklahoma Christian that they successfully beated down but didn't realize there was a second life to. So you got to keep an eye out now for these flip reset passes, these cheeky shots to the bottom corner, or from Sai, that wild redirect on the counterattack that we saw. We're reminded again that St. Clair Green have so many tools in their kit, and if they're feeling mechanically diffy again and they can actually hit those crazy shots, they're tough to beat.
Yep, confidence at an all-time high for St. Clair Saints. It's over at that point in time, and that's why you saw the cause of chaos, if you will, the Kings of Chaos. Will they make it a return here? Because it feels like it might need to happen for OC Esports. Whenever St. Clair got in their own heads, that's when you're able to establish a few games in a row where you felt really good. So as long as St. Clair is able to just key onto that possession and find themselves with consistent touch after touch, well, that's where they want to be.
Isn't that the truth? That's not what they're getting right now, though. They had Arju up midfield to try and turn this thing around, but nobody could direct the pass, and now the pass to North is in no man's land. They came late and didn't even hit the ball. We got a really shaky start to this game 7, and the pinch from Arju is going to meet Chile. That one's over the head of G-Man. No one's hitting their passes.
No, it's game 7. These players are certainly used to pressure, but right now it seems to be, well, maybe overthinking a little bit. And we'll see if they settle into it. I'm sure they will. G-Man's trying to make a good display of what I'm talking about. Zai still challenging that back wall. Chile able to get to that one, though. An extra touch looking to get to G-Man. Oh, they were able to connect. The only place he could go was away from the net. Although he did get that extra touch, that looked a little bit dangerous, but it was fought off by St. Clair.
And G-Man wanted everything and more out of that play, but sometimes you can't one-man army your way to the first goal in this game, especially with St. Clair Green's defense and the way that we've seen very few gaps, that is, in the games that they've won. This one still could be won by anybody. Minute 30 down, and Chile has the shot just about on target. Dunk does not come through. Arju still with their flip. Able to get one touch into the 50. Sai takes the shot, rips it. G-Man sends it away. He's boost for a teammate. Midfield pass leads into a shot. That's down and away. And now we're back to the boomer ball, who is able to capitalize on a counter.
Yeah, and the boomer ball is going to play in the hands of the Eagles because that possession game when it was St. Clair's, that's when they really dominated play. They like that trap game. They like to be able to toss it to one another or set up a solo play, and that might be it. Oh, the opportunity, wide open net, but still wasn't able to find the angle on that one. A shame for St. Clair, but they're still on it nonetheless. They still got this pressure, but you can't help but think that maybe one got away from them.
I feel like Jazzy was convinced the teammate was there. If they string the ball across the face of the net, someone will send it home, but no one was there to do so. G-Man certainly there, though, to make the block against a double tap from Jazzy. North to set this down, and Chili to find a way around. Now it's Sai versus G-Man. G-Man pushes in for the bump. Won't find it, though. No collision to aid in the efforts of OC's counterattack. Now G-Man gets dunked by Arju. North has to collect and cautiously move forward. He'll side flip into a missed 50-50, and Jazzy on no boost. The pass goes deflected. Seems like both teams have an answer for the others' approaches.
And boost control has been clearly in the favor of the Eagles. OC continues to make it difficult for St. Clair to find anything more than maybe a 12-pack. As now this one will turn, it's Arju. He was able to find just enough off the 100 pack to go and challenge this one. Jazzy still on it now, gets the demo out in front. Opportunity, but Arju couldn't get around it. Now this one plays up high. Sai needs to get up and make a touch because Chili had wide eyes for a net, but he was able to fight it off. Now Arju trying to fight that 50-50. G-Man holding his ground, still gets that extra touch. Now they're in transition. North, the only one down the field, just needs a touch. Oh, it's a crafty one behind him. What a play, a clever one, and the Eagles on top.
And it's all started because you had G-Man on the 1v2 from defense. That's exactly who you want there. The smart player to make both touches, both saves to coordinate a counter off of North's, again, crafty touch to secure the goal.
Oh my goodness, that's how you have to get them. They have to be dirty goals, it feels like, for the Eagles. And OC has accepted that, and they played right into it. And I love it. They know how to get this job done. Like, can they hold on? St. Clair still got a minute 6. That timer is going to feel like it's ticking down really quick, Pyro J.
Oh, is it ever. The quickest 60 seconds that we have seen today. And, well, it's our 7th of the day. Chili clears to no man's land, open space, and, well, it's filled with smithereens now. Dust of his car that has to be respawned to the other end. Arju on the fake. He's trying to bring that pro performance here to this collegiate match and able to lead his team, take the torch, and find success. It's got to be taken, though, in the final 30 seconds.
There, it's Arju now waiting for it. He'll get the initial touch. Did not have the boost to follow, but he'll just peel back off of it, and they want to try again. You want a couple of good looks, not just ones that you can find. But at this point in time, beggars can't be choosers. They need to be able to turn it around now. An opportunity, but it's just going to fall down. G-Man able to get it out to midfield. This one's still hanging in there. Pyro J down to 10 seconds.
Sai gets a challenge, but that's met by Chili. He's bumped off the play. There could be a shot. Pass off the backboard. Saved by G-Man. Off the ceiling. Here comes Jazzy, but it's not there. And the ball touches ground. Oklahoma Christian, on an incredible comeback performance, win this series.
And I talked about, is this team going to be able to, despite losing that leadership from Lucas Hayworth, are they going to be able to turn it around and fight for him? And guess what they did? They won 3 games in a row towards the tail end, and were able to finish it off here with the victory in game number 7. Nothing says, hey, we got over that, and that we're going to be able to do it ourselves and with new leadership than what the Eagles were able to do in this one.
Because there's leadership on this team, on this roster, where it begins with, I feel like that leadership just transcended into the abilities of these players. When you have an early game like from G-Man and Chili, who had all 10 of the saves made by the team, North did not play much of a role where they were so desperately needed. Leadership is required in order to adjust and move forward. And that was exactly the name of the game for Oklahoma Christian. After those 2 wallop of losses against them, they were able to pick themselves back up and craft a new plan to take this win. What a match, Bearline.
What a match. And the great night continues. It's Northwood Blue in Akron after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No. Come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
Welcome back to NECC Rocket League. Again, joining me is Pyro J. My name is Barrelay. We've been hanging out with you the whole night, and we've had a great one so far, Pyro J. We kicked it off right with Game 7, and OC Esports showing up last time around.
Yeah, wow, what a match here. We know that we're getting the best in collegiate when they go back and forth like that. The adjustments made by Oklahoma Christian will forever be in my brain because that was just phenomenal. I'm really impressed, seriously, by this G-Man, Chili, and North squad. I think they have continued to exceed expectations throughout this season and been a real bounce back squad in terms of the collegiate atmosphere and how far they can go. Their ceiling continues to push higher and higher, especially with the win against St. Clair Green, especially with the weekend that Arju just had. But now we move on to Akron versus Northwood, and boy, oh boy, is this not a classic when it comes to collegiate. Yeah, we love our European import teams. We do, okay, but we also love a good old NA match.
A good friend of mine named Bass from the Past has deemed this the Classico of CRL because it has been a matchup that we've seen since its inception, right? Northwood versus Akron. Here we go again. And of course, the lineups don't disappoint. If anything, they've gotten better over time. Akron, of course, being that first full collegiate roster to make RLCS, so they go without saying. Adding 5 up is just going to add to that chaos or to that absolute dynamic nature that Akron is. And then, of course, Northwood goes without saying that they might be familiar. I saw RGU there, but that's not 100% correct. I forgot who has that doing. Yeah, exactly. Zenil will be in here. And how dynamic can Zenil be in a game like this?
Oh, Zenil could very well be our best player on the field, but with these 6, it's very hard to say who. It feels like any day 100%. We could see anyone pop off. And to be honest, I'm looking at historically in the fall season, this spring season of CRL, they go back and forth trading wins and losses. So we don't know what will come of today, but let's get it going regardless.
The Titans set to clash here in this best of 7 series on the NECC network. We appreciate everybody for joining us here for what should be a banger of a matchup between these two teams. That just dynamic, quick pace of play is what we're here to expect. A lot of RLCS talent means, well, they know each other extremely well, having played not only matches in CRL against one another on a regular basis or just in Collegiate Rocket League on a general basis. But of course, it goes and dives back down to the highest level of Rocket League. And that should be on display here tonight.
Should indeed. And while we say that these teams trade wins back and forth, truly a lot of people look to Northwood to be that stalwart of the collegiate scene. This roster just has so many wins under their belt when it comes to the broadest landscape. And now in the collegiate era of there being so many different makeups within the diversity of these teams, Northwood tend to be the guardian of North America in this scene. So let's see if Akron can once again challenge that leadership role.
It'll be a bit of a toss back, if so, to, of course, CRL Fall Open number 3, where they met in the grand finals. I'm sure they've met plenty of other times besides that in a grand final. And here it's just, week 2 for NECC. So for us, we're getting to witness it early in the series, and I'm sure it's one that we'll see once again as we get later into it. Look at Zenil. Was hungry for that one, was diving for that back wall, trying to get the double touch. Still hockey on this one. And Patty had to fight that one away and wait for Bullseye, but he's only grabbing boost. Had to be Patty to get back to it again, and 5 up will clear at the length of the pitch, and Northwood will start from their own corner.
So much respect given and provided between both of these squads. Maybe Zenil didn't believe in that double tap, though. Kind of allowed some leeway. Creams. Pass over to Hockey. And there's the shot. That opens up the scoring.
We've seen that combination a countless amount of times, and Hockey had the whole side to himself at that point in time, and of course he's not going to miss that one. So Northwood going to be, felt like gifted one, but it was still a great passing play nonetheless. I guess we can get away with it just because it's a top-level play, but either way.
It's the thing where you look at it and you say, okay, Akron Blue really can't allow those gaps to exist because Northwood are so good at piercing your defense with those long field passing plays. Like, they have that vision. they have that level of clinicality to their play where if it's there, they'll take full advantage. They will capitalize. And they sure did there. A couple shots missed, though, from either team will lead us to stick to this score line. Bit of a makeup on the attack here for Akron Blue. Hockey really taking his time, 5-up winning that challenge, but he did get the time necessary for these saves to come through of Northwood. A follow-up block is going to come through from Zanil as they make their way back to the half-court line.
5-up challenging Hockey. They were bouncing around a little bit before they got that shot off. Creams will just bounce it off the wall. Was looking for a teammate, but found Patty instead. He'll direct it from the sidewall himself. There's 5-up, looking for Bullseye. Had him, but couldn't fire it on target. If he did, it was fought away. Saw the orange streak fall on that ball. Another passing play, an opportunity. Creams wasn't able to connect either. So a couple of opportunities that seem like they're pretty automatic between these two teams, just haven't found its way in quite yet here in this game one.
No, and part of the reason is Patty has 5 shots in this game. None of them have found it. That's 5 of 7 for their team. So you wonder if Akron Blue are going to score. Is it going to come from Patty? Is that the guy with the golden boot that they're looking to deal a great pass to? Zanil just didn't get the read on that double. Now this one taken across the field. No one home. And the goal credited to 5-up.
Well, nobody saw 5-up from his own end with nobody back in net on their card. So that's... Hello? Where were you? Nobody found back there. Akron Blues defense a little bit lackluster in that moment. So Akron will take prime time advantage of that one. And just in time, too, as we reach 1 minute left to play here in game number 1. If you're just joining us, we appreciate you for being here. But pretty equal as was to be expected through the first 4 minutes. Akron finally punching through after a couple opportunities. Didn't quite find their way in early. A good step in the right direction.
Like that from Patty. Sidewall to push it upfield. Akron can slow down a little bit if they want to. Game's tied. They don't need to press too hard, but when the chances are there, how could you possibly pass it up? Meteor strike from Patty.
Yeah, Creams just tried to get a clear, and what happened was it just popped to hit the ceiling. It came down, and Patty was reading it all the way. One of the easier reads for him, able to just bury it. Quite plain and simple. You said he took 5 shots a little bit earlier. That one was probably the easiest one out of all those. Able to finish that one to give Akron 2 in a row here in game number 1 to capture this lead. So a good turnaround late here in game number 1 for Akron.
All right, 10 seconds. What do you got, Northwood? Creams up and at him. 5-up keeps it elevated up to Patty, who was on the backboard guarding that area. Bullseye with the carry out to the ground. It's survived there by Hockey, and Northwood, they're lunging at the ball, but it's not enough. The late 2 goals from Akron Blue earned them their first win.
And it's not like they just showed up late, and I know that's not what you're saying, because Patty was taking shot after shot very early, and nothing fell for them until the tail end. So to be fair, it was very equal. Obviously, the scoreboard would say it that way, but to say that Akron, just outperformed Northwood, I don't think we've really said it a whole lot. It's always been an equal game at the end of the day. So everybody stepping up at different times is very, very much a definition of an Akron versus Northwood matchup, and that's what we're seeing in game 1.
I think Northwood are still feeling pretty good in this series. They just need to clean up on some mistakes. Like that first goal happened because Zanil missed a double off the side and a player got demoed from Northwood. 2 mistakes that you can kind of fix if you've got the vision and if you've got the touches. That final goal that Akron Blue scored was because Creams pretty much delivered it to them on a silver platter. He immediately dropped the sorry quick chat in the chat. Zanil was like, no problem, I get it. So again, Northwood Blue, we know this team and how good they are. But the question is, can in 5 minutes of gameplay, you keep the mistakes limited to 0? Because Akron Blue, if they sniff out the smallest mistake, what's very clear is they will capitalize.
That's 100% accurate. And that's them around the era, actually the ones making a few more mistakes than we saw from Akron. Sure, Akron could probably clean up a little bit as well, but at the end of the day, it's why we play a best of 7 and not a best of 1. Into game number 2 we go. And right now, Northwood trying to just break through and gain that momentum like you saw early in game number 1, but it was defended well there by Akron.
Just realizing that if both teams have that blue, right? Akron blue, Northwood blue. So someone's got to be on the orange team, and only now is it throwing me off. Just, can we get like a dark blue and a light blue? No, that'd be way too painful. Just have to dig into the paint, I guess.
Northwood orange. 6 with
No,
it.
that sounds terrible.
It sounds absolutely. Take it back. 5 up. Finds a teammate while Bullseye was just parked there on the far side. A great find, great finish. So Akron rolling into game number 2 at the momentum of game 1. That was excellent.
That was such a bizarre pass from 5 up. You expect if they're taking the flip reset, yeah, to take the shot. But instead, the angle was to pass it to Bullseye. I don't even know how that's communicated, but I'm really impressed by the immediate reaction there for Akron.
Telepathically is what I would assume, especially with the level of talent that we have from this team. They just feel one another as well. You really get a sixth sense when you get to a certain level of Rocket League. Either that or you had it to begin with, one of the two. But I digress. Here's Zanil for the corner, trying to get that extra tap away from Bullseye, although it worked. 5 up was ready for it and parked there. Patty now we'll pinch this one. Nobody going to be able to get back to that one. Bit of an errant play all the way back. Northwood Blue. What's happening right now?
I think it's a little bit of an overextension for them. I think Creams was hoping Akron wouldn't find the heaviest of touches, the heaviest of clears. You see him side flip, back flip, try to get the right touch on the ball, and it's just too much. It comes down to the respect that you're giving your opponents. Obviously, with this being, held as El Clasico by a lot of collegiate players, casters, and alike, there's still those moments where Northwood want to force these shots and force the issue, but will still get punished. They've got to find a way to strike the right balance.
But the balance, or at least the weights have shifted over to Akron, who just will not let off the gas pedal. This time it's 5 up, led by Bullseye. Great job to play that 50-50 down. That was excellent as well.
Is it the age of Akron, or Fairlight, are we getting a repeat of last match? Because lest we not forget, St. Clair Green, 2 dominant wins to start the series, and then Oklahoma Christian turned it completely around to win the best of 7. This is why you gotta have best of 7s, to allow teams to evolve as the series goes.
And this is what's funny is it's almost the exact same score line too when we talk about goals. So wild scenario there. Will it happen again? It's up to these two teams. What I know is it probably will hit a game 7 with the town. We'll just save that one for later. Anyways, we got Zinel from the corner. This Hockey trying to chop at it too. A good chance for Creams, although he's going to be met there by Patty before he could penetrate the box. And it's left for Bullseye here at midfield. They'll pop high for Creams. Hockey was waiting, lurking for it, but saw Patty was already up for it. Didn't want to challenge it. Wise play. Still tried back wall. Bullseye now going to try to jump for it, but Creams got a bump before he could get there.
They got a bump but no boost. That was completely stolen from Akron Blue, so it's going to allow them to charge upfield. Bullseye opting for the dunk, and wow, still lurking in their territory, making Northwood's job of getting out of their half very difficult. Creams takes high. Bullseye should have the beat. Best shot there from 5 up off the crossbar and out. Everything came together for the team. Even a chance there, but nothing slides in.
All right, for Northwood, you were just gifted one defensively. So now you take your good luck, and now you want to score, and Zanil wasn't able to find it. Patty fought that one off as well, was credited with the save, diving back just in time. As Zanil now up, try to find a little bit of room outwards. Finally, Hockey will go up. He's run out of boost, though. Needs some support. That's why you saw Creams jump up, but the challenge wasn't exactly right, and it's all the way back down to their own end, and they're running out of time.
Game 1 seemed to be promising for Northwood, but that goal that they got came early in that game. We've gone probably over a game's length of seeing any offensive production from Northwood Blue, but you don't see very often. Changes may need to be made after this, unless we see it right here. Double demolition, pass to the midfield, shot is there. Sent away by 5 up, but Northwood Blue, they got to attack now. Save is made. Zenil pushes forward, gets the dunk on Patty. That's set up nicely for a teammate that has no boost and isn't there. Story may have been sung, may have found its final page here in Game 2 for Akron.
Man, oh man. And for Northwood, it's so difficult to kind of swallow this pill here. Finally, they're getting pressure on them, so that's a step in the right direction. We'll get a good fake here. Tried for the goal, still can't get it done. Finally, hockey breaks through. That was a matter of 8 minutes and 30 seconds before their next goal, between goals here, Pyro. But finally, they're able to get one on the board.
And you have to show credit to Akron, their defense. They've got the read on so much of what Northwood Blue want to produce, whether it's downfield passing plays, ripped shots. Seem to have the answer for just about everything, aside from a garbage goal at the end of the game. Well, one of the nice garbage goals that you're going to see. Hey, let's stack on the trash bags. Hold on. Are these trash bags made of gold? We might have something here.
We'll see. Off the kickoff, well, they give themselves an opportunity, and that's all you can do at this point. Yes, it's great. You get momentum rolling into the next one, but listen, you want to win here. Let's see if they get it done off this kickoff.
Creams saying in the chat that he's faking and then going for the ball anyway. I love the trickery. I would have went for a yes quick chat or you have time. You know, one of the new ones that they dropped recently, but yeah, no mental gymnastics or quick chat shenanigans could have saved Northwood Blue in that game. Instead, you see a second 1-1 for Akron Blue. And, you know, the story of the last game, Bear Light, was Akron capitalized on Northwood mistakes. I would say it's different here in game number 2. That still did exist, but the first goal for Akron was a really crafty flip reset play from 5 up to find Bullseye on the other end. So I actually like the way that Akron are playing in this match. They're not relying too heavily on Northwood to throw a play or miss a touch. They're instead commanding these wins.
Well, they've certainly learned from the past, and they realize that Northwood's not going to throw you very many mistakes. You got away with the game number 1 for the most part. I don't know if that's the exact right term, but you were opportunistic in game number 1. So the best way to do that is by being efficient, and that showed on the scorecard as well. We saw 3 for 4 shooting from Akron, which is definitely one of those things where if you up efficiency, you never want to wait to have to react to what Northwood is going to throw at you. You want to be proactive in that battle, be able to correct any mistakes that you might have had, so that way you can continue to keep winning versus having to steal one back in Akron up 2-0 because of that.
2-0, you heard it there. You can see it on the screen. Akron Blue with 2 wins, but they'll be cut shy here at the start of the game. That's about as far of a goal as you can get.
Oh, man. Just a breakdown. It's because I jinxed it. I said no mistakes here from Akron, and unfortunately, nobody home. Granted, they were after that boost to begin, but Northwood, either way you take them, you saw them starting to cook a little bit towards the end. We'll see if they can put together a 5-star dinner. It's what you need to beat Akron.
Don't make me hungry now. I actually haven't had dinner yet. But hey, I'm down to feast on these wonderful matches. Yeah. You know Northwood would love to deliver another Game 7 the way that this series has began. So let's see if they can. I'm sure the 1 goal isn't where they'll stop, but with the demolition there, they might just... This ball on the other side already. Barely neither of us knew what developed out of that play, but Akron have managed to get the possession.
Yeah, the cameraman said, oh, I stood there in disbelief, I suppose, but... it's hockey trying to sidestep Bullseye. It was not to be. Here's Patty right back on it. Gets 1 touch around. This one will fall back down. 5 of a chance to tap it back down. Bit awkward, and somehow they break through. Oh, a bit of a hesitation there from Northwood, and they pay.
Yeah, Zenil. Ooh. I think he didn't know whether that was in or out, and you never really know where the post is going to go with the ball, right? Friendly roll or not, so... Got to guard the shot if it comes. That said, Akron playing with angles and now mastering them. Bullseye, bar down.
Oh, there's a reason they call him that, I suppose. Off the kickoff, I mean, look at the reaction time, number one, to cut that, and then, oh, just filthy shot. Bullseye just showing up. It's not a big name that you're like, yo, that's a player that's going to make a crazy play until you watch him play, and you're like, oh, yeah, this kid has taken a step forward over the past year.
Yeah, he's coming up on just veteran status in collegiate, the way that he's been a hallmark of this Northwood team. But yeah, you're so right in the sense that those that follow pro play are gearing their eyes elsewhere, right? When you have players like ex-TSM, Kareem's in hockey, and Zanil on that omelet team that always pushes to top 8 or so. And you can start to see why. Here, though, it's Patty. Getting his, definitely not his first goal of the series.
And I love Patty's personality too, so I like to see him get one or two here in the series. So good turnaround here again. Once Northwood showed any sign of life, leave it to Akron to take it away. Impressive work to do that against a dynamic team. Akron has looked very strong in this series. Always seems to be a team that's ready to go from the get-go, and for me, it's been Akron since this start, as they've scored 3 in a row in the past minute.
Yeah, people are going to wonder if Akron actually come up with this sweep. How did it actually happen? And Bear Lake, we're going to have to talk to them. But you did mention their recent meeting, somewhat, in the follow-up in 3 of CRL, where Akron did take the win in Game 7. That was after Northwood hit the bracket reset on them, beat them in a series 4-1. So we're going to continue to see this back and forth.
Oh, 100%, and you see it develop in front of your eyes as Five-Up probably wants that touch back. I'm not whether he was looking for a teammate there and thought he was there, or if he just thought he was going to get that second touch himself. He just didn't have enough time to develop what it was that he wanted. And Northwood Blue able to be the beneficiary party from that situation. But in a peculiar situation was Hockey there. He did a great job, though, to handle that up the back wall to himself in order to get that out to midfield, because Akron was putting him in an awkward spot.
Yeah. Well, 5 goals after the halfway mark. You got to think both teams are trying to strengthen their defense. That's one way to do it, Creams. Nail the shot taker and, come up with a shot of your own. Maybe the double tap. No, 5-up. Backboard defense intact instead, but the demo comes through again. Eliminations are hurting Akron.
For sure. And Bullseye just kind of left in no man's land there. Unfortunately, was looking to challenge, but was so confident that the support was going to be there. But I feel like the audio cue came after the fact that the ball was in your net. And now we have ourselves equalized at 3.
Oh boy, you're getting that feeling that Northwood are heating up. They're making the right demos, they're timing them well. Akron don't appear to be moving at the pace that Northwood are, especially with Zanil up on that wall ready for the clear. Making their lives extra difficult. Patty with the fake though. He set up for the shot too. Hockey is able to stamp his mark in the lane of that shot. And Hockey's moving forward as well, stealing the container of boost that Akron wanted so desperately. Cuts in for this shot as well. Bullseye final defender. Plays it slow, earns time for his team.
Five-Up now's got some room. Hockey had to play that preemptively with a little bit of a flip on your backside situation. But Zanil had an opportunity. He was looking for Kareem's, I suppose, but wasn't able to direct it that way. Five-Up should have the ceiling. Does, but dropped down. And it's marked all the way by the defense of Northwood. Here, Bullseye, need an extra touch. Maybe consider the psycho, but said, hey, I've got more important things to do here defensively. And was able to tap it down to a teammate. Kareem's still giving on this pressure from Northwood, and suddenly they've got some pressure here. Hockey's still on it as well. Bullseye trying to clear. Zanil will keep him true. 5-Up still on this back wall, and finally they'll get out to midfield.
Do we go to overtime? Hockey doesn't seem to want it. Flip reset over to a teammate. Nice positioning from Patty, but the follow-up's a bit concerning.
Whoa!
They've given the space for Northwood to pop off.
Roll out the red carpet. Finally, Northwood has arrived with a pinch play here to take the lead in game number 3 with 19 seconds left as they overcome the 3 goals in a row from Akron with 3 of their own. And now with 19 seconds left on the kickoff, looking to just hold on to it.
Oh my, Patty, maybe a chance here. Zanil, oh, he's put the ball in front of the net somehow. They come up with the save. Don't ask me how. We need the VLR replay on it later. But for now, Patty, final look, corner touch, 5 up, and bullseye. Patty, no boost. It's on the ground. Northwood Blue on a wild pinch win the game.
It's just absolutely the definition of Akron versus Northwood, where you never know what's going to happen. Both teams are certainly capable of putting up goal after goal. The shot count dead even there as well. And when Akron was able to get 3 in a row there, you thought that maybe it was just going to develop towards an Akron runaway series until you remembered what game we're after. It's quite the series every single time. It seems like it won't disappoint this time. Just a dig deep effort there from Northwood.
It was. I feel like the digging deep especially happened in the second half. Remember, we had a 3-2 scoreline after the first half of the game. That's when teams really shaped up their defense and said, okay, we maybe need to think a little bit more about how we're counteracting the other team. But for Northwood Blue, they developed plays that you really can't counter. I mean, yeah, Northwood did set up on that last goal from the awkward touch from their opponents, but when you're pre-jumping a pinch that goes bar down in your net, you kind of just have to say, all right, you won. You deserve that W. Just take it at that point and start again. So Northwood Blue, if that's what you got to do to earn a win, we may see more crafty and creative plays as this series goes on.
Yeah, once you reach the top, you have to constantly be creative. You have to let your skill speak for itself, and you have to find creative times to pull it out. And that's exactly what Northwood is able to accomplish. I love this team, what they're able to accomplish here, and whether or not they stick to it through their guns, you got to realize that's an effort that comes from within. They got to continue to copy-paste it. But right now, Akron's the one that's getting the guns going.
Loving the early looks indeed from Akron. And wow, look at the space that's provided. Hockey clamps down on the gap that was there. They're both out of boost, though. Neil, look at what he's able to do with nothing in the tank, though. That is value provided by game sense. Just your ability to coordinate your car. Gymnastics on the air rolling. Push the ball up the field. Creams wanting to do exactly that. This time a little bit quicker. Flip off the ceiling. Brings it off the backboard. 5 up, though. Denies.
I like that Creams is keeping them true, though. You know they're going to be on the back wall, but you're still going to challenge that because if they make a mistake, if they get antsy and they want to step up, you're there for it. Look at this play. Oh, it developed. Creams was marked to it by 5 up as he able to fight this one, too. Zanil almost wanted one of those touch it to yourself off the ground situations. But wasn't able to finish that one either, and Bullseye will have to take it from midfield. Although he's challenged from hockey. 5 up now on it. Bullseye bullying Zanil on the back wall, and that'll free up enough room for Patty to make it 1-0.
Feels like Akron took a page out of the Northwood handbook. They were getting demoed all game last time. Said, here's a taste of your own medicine. First goal in for Akron.
Just the way that Bullseye tracked him and basically like forced him up on the ceiling was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Give him a little shoving action going, a little Robbins racing type of situation for all my racing fans out there. I digress.
That's your, hey, listen, that's your battle cars, right? It started out as supersonic, acrobatic, rocket-powered battle cars. You got to battle, you got to bump your way to victory. And maybe that's a strategy that Akron can work on as they move forward. Trying to deny those resources, those boosts of their opponents. But now it's 5 up off the field. Cream's trying to take it forward. The boost prioritization, but the backflip from Zanil. Nothing's quite perfect for Northwood here, but it still will work.
Again, not a pretty one. You don't need them to be pretty. Zanil just one touch to get 5 up to commit. And then that extra touch to get the rest to commit to it as well. So basically made all 3 members of Akron bite before you just allow your teammate to come in and tap it in, and Creams was happy to do so. Northwood equalize. And if had answers for Akron, that's something that didn't exist in the first couple of games. It's why Northwood was able to steal one. We'll see if it applies yet again here in Game 4.
Stolen the life now of hockey. As Neil air dribble down the line. He wants to do it himself here. Ends up stamping that ball on the backboard. Patty, let's see what they can do. There's the attempt on the pump after the air dribble. Everyone's trying to carve a path to the net on a 50 like that. Bullseye has done it, and they have to watch through their front window in pain as nobody's there to finish the job.
That's so tough, and it feels like that sits on the goal line for like a lifetime while nobody's coming through. So another opportunity left on the table. Will it bite them? Time will tell. 5 up. Has Patty. Far side. Nice. Extra touch. Great passing play. Labels it top corner. And Akron will steal that lead right back.
Any normal player gets 2, maybe 3 touches on the ball. 5 up coordinates as many that's needed to get that pass out to Patty. And with that air dribble finesse, it makes it so difficult for the defense to read. Just an elegant progression from 5 up to get Akron in the lead.
Patty's not done. Wants more. Has Bullseye there too at the top of the box. 5 up waits patiently. By the time he's able to turn for the next one, it's Northwood on it. Kareem's in the corner, challenging Patty. This one, all 3 members of Akron scrambling for this one yet again. Northwood has done a great job of disorganizing Akron, but whenever that happens, they just haven't been able to capitalize and finalize and get a goal. They were able to equalize at 1, but yet again, time ticks down. 1:32 left, and they're going to need one of those comeback efforts that they had in the last game.
Oh, Zanil, open space, but double tap gets sent away. Patty had other ideas, but is this one to give the ball to Kareem? Certainly not. Flip reset, dunk almost there. And wow, Zanil late to the party. Not the kind of party you want to show up late for either. It's not fashionable, it doesn't work out, and it resets the attack for Northwood.
Back down it goes. Kareem's now with some help from Zanil. Try to tap it back down. Wasn't able to connect. And maybe a bump, just trapping him on the back wall. Midas advised. Although Akron was rotating around. Here's Zanil. Up for it again. Flip reset in hand. Make it a second one. Good pop above the rest. And that set up Kareem's there, but Bullseye was able to read, and that patience able to allow you to read that opportunity as it's developing and shut it down. Zanil, now it's open. Hockey couldn't get to it in time as Akron does.
They're doing everything they can. Zanil has been so effortless in the way he's coordinating flip resets, slow plays, great 50-50s, but nothing's working. I don't know how. Akron have saved this time and time again. And now Zanil, what can you really do on 0 boost, but try to pinch it towards the net. Still with 15 seconds, there's time remaining and a chance that still could suffice for Northwood. The Creams double tap off the sidewall, doesn't do it. The Zanil dunk gets batted away, and 5 up, just enough boost to clear out and coordinate a win for Akron Blue. They go to match point.
Oh my goodness. Excellent work from Akron to be positionally sound when you need it the most. They were starving for boost, and they were still able to come up with this win because of that positioning. They were able to make up for any space lost by being in the right place, right time. Bullseye was a prime example of that when they were empty tanks completely, and Northwood was full on the gas pedal with the opportunities. I mean, just look at the 7 shots from Kareem's and wasn't able to get it done. So at the end of the day, Akron doing what they need to do, diving into their bag of tricks, whatever it takes is their mentality, Pyro J, and they're sticking to their guns here. It's great.
Hey, the perseverance paid off for Akron Blue, no doubt about it. What's funny to me, though, is that Zanil was so clutch in the way that they were coordinating open efforts for their team. If it was a 1v1 or even a 2v2, Zanil is scoring in those final 60 seconds. But the 3-man roster of Akron Blue and the resources that they were barely gathering when they were getting beat by fakes or dunks or resets from Zanil was just enough to make those saves, those 10 that they found in that game. I feel like half of them came in that final minute as well. So good on Akron Blue to survive and advance. Can they go one step further now on their match point to take the full-on NECC win against Northwood?
Naturally, you gotta say it. Obviously, series is not over, and I know chat's gonna roast me because that's an obvious statement here knowing these two teams, but you get every win that you possibly can in a series like this. That way, I mean, because you never know when it might be your last. Akron's hoping it won't be. They'll have 3 chances to close out this series, so that feels pretty dang good for them. And we'll see if they get it done this time around, or if we'll take a couple more. That'll be up for Northwood Blue to decide.
And if you know anyone at the top of collegiate, oh, what? No, Patty! Oh, the open look is off target. I think he tried doing too much. Forget my earlier point. That was just the golden chance for Akron to take the lead early on.
Man, oh man. You wish you had it. Every game you want to win and put in your back pocket, but every chance that you have to score. Well, it feels bad, but Patty trying to make up for it. Great control. Shot taken from Bullseye. Read well by Hockey. Sustained pressure makes it difficult here for Northwood. They're truly being tested once again here. Now then in their box. Opportunity. Creams can't fight off what was absolutely relentless pressure, and Akron on top.
It all started with Hockey's save early on, who put it to a less dangerous position. But as you mentioned, Akron did a great job sustaining the pressure, whether it was tall aerials to put it back down on the goal line and force those awkward saves out of Northwood, or those diving shots. It was enough for Akron to get their lead.
Now Akron in the driver's seat from here on out. As long as they can just control the pace of play, they'll be fine. That's easier said than done against this dynamic team. Bullseye around the corner, he'll go. Great couple of touches, make it 3 touches. This should be relatively open. Tennille is having to dive back for this one. But that puts Akron in a great spot here to really go to work in what could be a trap game opportunity. 5 up with a bump as well, but rotating around with no boost was Bullseye. He pulled up some 12 packs in the meantime, trying to get whatever he can to try to make the next play. And still Akron putting guns to the table, but Northwood finally with a big clear from Hockey.
Bullseye's been making some really smart decisions. You mentioned those pad pickups, but also the bump evasion. Hockey was just trying to take him out to spring that counterattack for Northwood, and Bullseye's like, no, I'm not going to make it that easy to take me out. Now Bullseye calls off his teammate so he can get a monstrous clear on the ball. And Creams, he messes up the air dribble. Hockey had to come in as his savior to put that one away and just reset the play at the midfield. Now it comes down to who can win from that regard. In the midfield, bumps are all over the place as Northwood really throughout this match have tried to take midfield ownership off these bump and demo plays and the counterattacks that just don't seem to be falling in place.
No more mistakes can be allotted here. You can do that when you're down maybe 2-1 in the series, when you're down or maybe equalized at 1-1, but now is the time when you have to begin to step it up, play some clean Rocket League, and they just haven't been able to do it. Have they looked good in moments? They've been absolutely looking unstoppable in some moments, but the consistency has been my only view.
Well, these players know how to be clutch, right? When it comes down to the wire and there's under 2 minutes remaining. This might be where you see that most consistent pressure in terms of decisions made and also mechanics. Looking to see what's on display here. Hockey, wow, what an effort to get it under the first defender. 5 up, manages the 50-50. Still off the ceiling here. Flip to no man's land. Patty looks to take ownership. Now the pass out in the way to Bullseye. Tall angle here. He pays with his life just for that touch. At the 90-second mark, it's time for Bullseye on the respawn to start again.
And up he goes. Uses the ceiling to play to himself. Zaniel up in time. Great challenge. 5 up. Forced backwards with it. Off the back wall it goes. Creams took a little bit too long to get to it. Also didn't have a full tank of boost, and Patty did. So he bailed off of it. Now it's Creams. Sidewall. Leaves it for Hockey. He's going to go for it instead. Kind of umped up the pace and almost angled it down before it's fought off yet again here from Northwood Blue. But they're playing a whole lot of defense when they need to turn it around now with a minute remaining.
Tell you what, Akron, they're getting stretched here. Patty had to make a real desperate save with nearly no boost left to take away the ball that was in prime position for Northwood to score. They have gotten out, but it does make you realize that Northwood are starting to find the gaps, and in this final minute, might just press up for the equalizer. That shot just barely came in time as it's knocked away yet again. 5 up with the boost. and all the pressure to put this forward. Creams, flipper reset, has Hockey on his side. Zanil for the follow-up, and Creams, nothing left to get the touch.
Good read from Sunil to keep it in. We've seen that so many times in the series. Gonna need something clutch to keep the pressure on. Hockey still waits for it. Now it's Shop at it with a 50-50. It's left for a 5-up. 10 seconds left. Just need to kill it. Now out to center field. That'll be Hockey returning back, but he doesn't have a good angle on it. Last opportunity. Has to kneel with them. Will flick it high, maybe too high. It goes off the corner and killed. Akron Blue win this series 4-1 over Northwood.
If you can stop Northwood from scoring a single goal in 5 minutes, especially with how well they looked in that last game off of sustained pressure, you earned yourself that win. Akron Blue, congratulations on your victory. A 4-1 repeat of what happened at the first stage what was it? That was it was Northwood that 4-1 Akron at the first stage of that grand final. Apologies on my side. Maybe some revenge then that Akron get on their 4-1 over Northwood.
100%. Yeah, I agree with you. And how dynamic of a pickup is 5-up. I've been watching that guy since high school, junior year. I mean, he just brings a whole new level to play. That was an already strong Akron team and continues not only just relevance, but almost near dominance here at this point from Akron, being a very, very much a top team in Collegiate Rocket League. I would put in the top 3 here at this point. They've just been playing like it for sure. And when you take out a Northwood who has that level of talent to that degree, Northwood certainly wasn't at their best tonight, but Akron didn't care. They just said, we're going to play our game. We're going to play exactly how we know we can play. They didn't play down to the level of which Northwood decided to come out with today, and that's the difference maker, and 5-up a large part of that for sure.
Absolutely. 5-up, Patty Bullseye, pat yourselves on the back. You guys gave us Rocket League cinema. Bearlight, I think there's maybe a little more collegiate action that we have underway.
100%. You're right. We're going to head down to Alvernia University Gold, facing off with the Huskies of UConn. So stick around. I'm sure they would love to have y'all support their match as well. We'll be right back on NECC.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach.
Just
Grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand.
give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is... Oh!
wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain. I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you changed. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm my therapist is saying that I should. I don't believe it, but I really wish I could. Instead, I guess I'll stay misunderstood. Oh, 'cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out. I've tried but can't seem to slow down. I don't know if I want to. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to.
I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb at first, but I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst.
Welcome back to NECC Rocket League, where we have started strong and we get to finish strong. Byro J and Bear Light with you here for our final matchup of Alvernia University Gold facing off with the Huskies of Yukon.
Yeah, looking forward to getting into this one. Listen, we went through our best of sevens. Now we're going to take it easy with the best of five, or at least that's what we want you to think, okay? We still know these teams will be fighting tooth and nail for a victory. Let's take a look a little bit at this Alvernia squad, and it's changed and shaped up differently across the years, but actually Tav has been a part of this roster for quite some time, at least a couple of years. Bring on Breadman and Lord Bubs. Breadman, definitely a player name I recognize as well. But then on the other side, you've got the Yukon Huskies of Lamb, Noah K, and Cap. Those are the ones that we're still waiting, barely, for them to join the lobby, see if they want to play today. But nonetheless, we'll be bringing us a great match.
Yeah, they certainly show up when it comes to men's basketball, and in esports,
right.
they've certainly done the same. As Alvernia is certainly a very prominent program in the world of esports, has been around quite a while, and Huskies of Yukon are looking to do the same. So I love that too. I definitely wanted to shout out Tab as well, the captain of Alvernia. He was actually one of the first stay plugged in Rocket Leaguers back in the day, finding his opportunity for Alvernia University Gold. So love to see those stories, and to see him developing the player that he has been at the collegiate level is pretty cool.
That is really awesome. I think that I can think of a few different rosters that sort of started out as a come up as, you know, a quote unquote prodigy, in the sense that it's like, okay, this person is bringing a lot of potential to our team. One player I think of a lot of time is Durtho. I mean, he was a starting player, for the Boise State team as a freshman, and obviously he outgrew upperclassmen like Gil and like other teammates, and now is teamed with Preston Woozy over there. But the point is, you can start on a team, but then you can really grow into a captain role. So that's awesome that we got the backstory there on Tab of Alvernia.
Is that? Yeah, and it's pretty cool. It's funny that you mentioned Gil. He was there as well. And Cosmic Flippy, another one that comes to mind, too, when we talk about Columbia and what they've been able to accomplish over the years. At Cosmic Flippy, obviously, you know, you had some very big talent come to Columbia, so he has been in and out of that top roster from time to time. But that voice of leadership and confidence is something that he's always had. He's always coached me as well. So those stories all around the collegiate scene for sure. Well, with the matchup at hand here, you said, yes, it will be a best of five, but it will be heated. We know Alvernia is going to bring it. And of course, Yukon and the Huskies, they got some support in the chat showing here as well, Pirate Dre. I don't know if you've seen that.
Well, if you got support in chat, can you give them the support to the players to join the game as well? That would be great. So that we can see your team play. Love to see you guys supporting your squad, though. I mean, that's so typical with these collegiate teams, Bearlight, is oftentimes they have a community, whether it's from the other esports professionals within their, well, professionals or just esports collegiate athletes, I guess I should say, among the different titles of the college, or even family and friends that want to go and see their players succeed and see them perform. Those are stories we got to remember, as this game is larger than just car soccer and 6 players. It's got a community around them. I mean, Barely, you were just mentioning the leadership that was on that OC esports team, where, you know, that as well, crafting these stories to say, like, these Rocket League teams are more than just 3 cars out there hitting the ball.
Yeah, 100%. It is a full culture at the end of the day in Scholastic Esports, from when we talk about high school esports and how that's been booming like crazy over a multitude of different states. I mean, we've seen it begin in the Midwest, have a huge boom around. I know there's federations out in Indiana and Illinois. There's one in Ohio now. I know Esports Ohio, shout out to them. For building up high schools, and you know, with Play Versus leagues and just the culture that they've been able to build, and other leagues in the high school space as well. I mean, it's been absolutely awesome to see these students learn and be part of that culture, to learn leadership, learn communication. These are huge things that go a long way in life specifically. And whether you hit the pros in RLCS or if you hit the books again and find a steady career, either way, esports certainly has a place for everybody.
No doubt about it. Spot for everybody, as we know. Husky said they'll need a little bit of time still. We're going to see them in the match. But don't worry, fans. If you're out there ready to root for your team, we're still going to have that match underway just after a short break. So, folks, thank you so much for your patience. And here on the NECC coverage, we'll see you with our final match of the day after just a little bit of time.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach.
Just
Grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand.
give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
You have habits just like me. Talk too much with strangers. Get way too serious around family. And I don't have any wishes, but when I kiss you, our lips fit well. And I don't have expectations, but when I daydream, I fall asleep, and our hands melt. It started
Welcome in. You've waited long enough. It is game number 1 now of our last series of the day for NECC. Again, joining me is Pyro J. My name is Bearlight Alvernia Gold, facing off with Huskies in this one.
So glad y'all could join us. So glad the players could join us as well. We need a little extra second or bubble. Happy to have a little extra inch between that ball and the net, as that one came a little bit too close to the goal side. But yes, we are in, we are ready, and we are prepared for any potential lone goal that could come through.
And dot on your screen will be Cap as part of the Huskies here of UConn, as Lamb and Noah, the two to round out that roster. And on the other side, though, Lord Bubs will kick us off. Alvernia up top 1-0 after a good challenge all the way up to the ceiling.
I mean, that's clean from Lord Bubble, putting them in trouble. Second touch off the ceiling, a little too crisp. He's got the plain topper on his Fennec. He was born to take flight.
Yeah, he certainly did early. Noah's trying to do it some of his own, so a quick answer back from the Huskies as they get on the board off a kickoff goal, essentially, as Tab kind of left it in no man's land, unfortunately.
Really impressed, though, by the reaction from Noah, because that first touch set up them perfectly for success. Read the defense, put it over them, fire away, and tie this game up.
Another kickoff goal, potentially. This one falling down. It fought away by Bread before it could do any extra damage. That's a good pass as well, but Lamb couldn't quite handle that one. It falls unharmlessly down to the surface. And it'll be Cap to try to challenge on this one, but they left it a little too long. Noah's going to take advantage of that every single time.
UConn starting to fire up here tonight as Lord Bubble tried crafting a way out of their own net. Noah was the one that just wanted to dunk it in instead. And now you've got to keep your eye out for Noah at this point if you're Alvernia Gold, because this player is capitalizing on every effort.
And was trying to crash into the box as well. Here's Tab on this one. One extra touch, but Gap able to end that run before it got too close to the net. That one left open, and Lamb also going to take advantage of Alvernia, who's been, well, they've gotten a few holes in their defense, and the Huskies have taken advantage of it.
And the defense is starting to look shaky. A little too easy to press and pop like Bubble itself and pierce through as the Huskies start to get some very convincing possessions together. Yeah, Alvernia University Gold will be happy to see some of these shots find the wayside.
No doubt they're looking to settle in. Again, it's not the best of 7 that we saw earlier. It's a best of 5, but you still have a little bit of time. But constantly, the Huskies on it. But a wide open net the other way, so Tab will tap this one in easily. So just as the Huskies were gifted one, so were Alvernia.
I think UConn got a little too excited here, right? 3 goals nearly in a row, and then they're working on a 4th right away, but they find themselves overextended. Tab bringing that veteranship in for Alvernia University Gold on that second goal.
It's, you know, if there's going to be a few mistakes, you got to make them in game number one, and then number 2, you know, you hope it's close, right? That both teams are being able to take advantage of it, and we have ourselves a close game number 1, and that's what we have. As now that one loose too. Tab, can he get back to it? No. Another mistake. Huskies in this barn burner, if you will, but there's no defense to really burn at this point, so either way, it's 4-2.
Sometimes defense is optional, is what we're learning in this matchup if you're fully tilted and geared on the attack side. 6 goals in the first half of this game, and we're still not even done with that part. And as we get to the counter, it's a 3-person passing play coming out of the Huskies, trying to find crafty ways to move up the field. Now, Cap sends it across the width of that field. Lamb fuels up, takes on Tab for the 50-50. This dunk comes through. The Huskies looking to take action, take command on the pitch. Ball moving towards their net, and Breadman comes so close to securing the goal.
Yeah, it was Bread that set it up in the first place to get it down the pitch. He did a great job to stand tall where he was and continued with it. So excellent play. He's right back on it again and does get it past Lamb before he was taking his life from, as the demo came through. No longer was he on this pitch. Here's Noah. The turn on it. He'll pop it high, looking for this redirect. Almost got that touch. Hey, credit Noah for the confidence going up for that one, and almost had himself a prime goal. But now the other way. Bubble on that angle and got it. Lord Bubble showing up early.
Bubble, oh boy, what a read on the second touch to get that one in there. I don't care how many defenders are in the net. You're not blocking that one away. When they needed a hero, Bubble scores.
On it again. This one up high for Lamb. That flip reset gave them another opportunity to kind of pinch at it or whack at it, but wasn't able to find the angle to it. But Noah's still on it. Now looking for it. I think he was looking for it. Was that Cap all the way on the other side wall? Tab will find it instead. Looking for Lord Bubble. Trying to find him. Maybe going for the solo play instead, as Lord Bubble wasn't able to get out in front of it. But nothing doing. So after the onslaught of goals, we've had just one in the last minute or so. For the Huskies, that's a good sign. Maybe even better sign it is, as Noah will poke through again, 5-3.
I mean, the Huskies just seem to always have the answer here. It feels like every attack is two-pronged, and when you're one defender like that for Alvernia, that's too much to handle.
Yeah, just a little bit of a challenge for this squad as of late. Really need to find their stride here. Alvernia, their 3 goals have typically come in the fashion that's been, well, not exactly clean the other side. So credit for the Huskies for really cleaning up their mistakes and not allowing Alvernia to get to anything since then, as they are really just content to kill some time with this one. Maybe have themselves settle in a bit, because it has been a very chaotic, but finally we're seeing a little bit of peace and quiet here with 34 seconds left in a lead for the Huskies.
Well, it does tend to get a little peaceful when you have a roll one happening. 4 players are competing instead of Cap and Breadman, who have decided to respect the roll one on the other side of the field. And honestly, this isn't a bad shot for either team. Alvernia University Gold, you want to shake things up to try to score on time, but as you can see, that's not happening. 5 seconds left on the clock. We almost got that last goal from the Huskies, but instead, it gets saved away. And the win is confirmed and secured for UConn.
The Huskies will take game 1. Can we get some respect in the chats? Both players and fans here at NECC, we love to see it go that way. And them having some fun in a very, what feels like a high-stake competition sometimes for a lot of these players. So respect out to Cap, who is capping us with the Thought as the name. But regardless, I mean, look at the shot count, just absolutely dominated by the Huskies. The score reflected it to some degree, but Alvernia kept it close. I think very evident that it was Alvernia taking advantage of mistakes that the Huskies then eventually cleaned up towards the tail end of that game number 1.
Yeah, we talked about warming up to the stage, right? Feeling our way through it and showing us exactly what you're made of. And UConn seemed to get better at that as it went on. Now, Alvernia University Gold, listen, 15 shots. That might be too much. We've got to find some way to balance the score line, take a little more ownership of the midfield, and stop allowing all these passes to come through for UConn, because I do love the way they're maneuvering the ball around the field. It's just that vigilance, that vision from Alvernia Gold needs to come through to stop Huskies where it hurts the most.
No doubt. I mean, they didn't find any continuity when we talk about the offensive side of the ball. That's something that you look for on a regular basis. A shakeup would definitely be in order. Maybe even a deep breath here, as game 1 captured by the Huskies pretty simply. But Tab going to work here as a captain. You'll want to lead by example and try to make a bit of a splash here early. But it was answered by the Huskies.
And Lamb, nothing in the tank, makes it so difficult to push this ball forward, but Noah's got brighter ideas. Double tap is good to kick things off.
No! Going in for the side. That was clean. They got a touch off the ceiling, but it's funny because top of their car, so it didn't really matter. But they still, just a scrape was all I needed. They went up with confidence, and they finished with confidence, too. That's what matters. The Huskies. Let's see it in chat. That support has got to be there. UConn looking sharp.
Yeah, that fender tap or scrape off the ceiling caught my eye as well. But hey, the goal happened, so maybe we have to study it and take it as a lesson of this true Noah finesse that we're witnessing here. Tav trying to turn things over here quickly, but Noah's back at it. Shot rains down. Lord Bubble has the answers. They were planted on the goal line. Breadman gets the shot to go. Does test this defense once again of the Huskies, but they've turned it around quickly, forcing two on the saves. This could provide a gap here for the Huskies to score on. Beautiful pass down in front. Noah gets 3 touches on the ball, but apparently it's not enough.
Pinballed around for a lifetime and didn't quite fall through. So the Huskies remain in this 1-0 position. Lord Bubble getting to it, trying to break in, nothing doing. Lamb on it too to collect, and he'll dribble it as far as midfield before Brett will punch it directly back in. Noah challenged by Bubble. Now jumping in is Breadman. The challenge hits the midfield, and Noah will clear it the length of the pitch. So even when Alvernia finding themselves on the attacking side of the ball, no results to show for it. And that frustration you got to hold in and really just kind of take it to it the next time around. You can't miss an opportunity because you're thinking about the last one.
Absolutely, and I want to see this team remain composed as well. You've got the feeling that they are getting frustrated, right? There were 8 goals last game. How have there only been 1 after 2 minutes? But that's strictly what Rocket League's all about. You figure out your opponents, you match their pace, their tempo, and you start to get these close games. Can Lord Bubble find the first crease in the opposition? Yes, he can.
There it is, a much-needed goal. First off the corner, and it had about 1,000 boosts to get back to it there and find that read off the sidewall. It's typically not that easy to do to adjust to you, but he found a way to get it done. And you're right, equal at 1. Alvernia, huge goal, and they're going to look for more. Here's Breadman off the kickoff. Has an opportunity to carry this one. Almost got it past Cap, but Cap able to fight it off to the corner.
We'll see how that fight continues here. Demolition on the field from Lamb does open a small avenue, but it's quickly caught up by Alvernia. They've got the comms down, but will it be the coordination that brings them the second goal? Demo on to Noah, seems to be the sharpshooter of the Huskies, and may as well been the last line of defense. No, Noah's back on the respawn to take it away. Chance after chance for Alvernia to take the lead, results in them now having to guard the goal line.
Yeah, Breadman. Bubble having to get to it as well. They break into the box, so that's about it for the Huskies. Now it's Bubble to turn it around. Noah answers it as well. Does a couple of reads before Cap was able to get to it. It was Tab standing in his way. Breadman left in the 1v1 situation. Not enough boost in the tank to get around it to really make a move at all. Had to dribble it in, just played the 50-50, and now back into the hands of the Huskies.
Will they treat it with respect, treat it with the discipline that it deserves? We've seen some more clinical defenses in this game number 2, and so it may take a little more craftiness on the shot taking, maybe more demos as we've seen this play develop to get that goal that's necessary to win the game. Minute remaining, tied up. Lord Bubble can't stretch for the ball, needs to get help from Breadman, gets it past 1. Noah might be good for another here as he flies into the pass to Cap. It's good with Noah getting the secure.
Yeah, when Noah went up for this originally, I knew that he had something cooking for sure. When it fell back down in his car, not how I thought it was going to happen, but it still broke through nonetheless. Works just as strong as a clean goal. And a 2-1 lead for the Huskies. But now the Bubble right back at it. Burst in the bubble of Alvernia. Or sorry, of the Huskies, as they're able to equalize it too with just 50 seconds left in this game.
Wow. Tav, take the torch, lead the way, be the captain that your team needs. Got the 50-50 on that kickoff to set up for the hard sheet of Lord Bubble. Good capitalization, and it's insane how Rocket League kickoffs can just wash away a lead just like that.
And Bubble looking to add to what they were able to accomplish there. This one, oh, it rainbowed down a little bit. Brett had to be ready for it, and was. And Lamb right back on it. Bubble still waited. Good patience back on it as well. Here's Tav. The ceiling, he'll go. Try to get some help from Bubble. Extra touch, and it was actually needed, even though it looked awkward there for the Huskies. They're still in trouble, though, as Bubble will play it off the back wall. Opportunity for Tav to step in, but Noah does instead. A great job to tap it down with just 10 seconds left.
Yeah, it's getting a little tense here with the double commits from the Huskies. It's not something I like to see as time's dwindling down, but they'll be given a golden opportunity. Noah with the flip reset pass on the backboard. Lamb to finish it! And UConn run away with the win!
Oh, Noah able to set it up with that flip reset, and then the last touch as well. The three-man effort to tap it tic-tac-toe, and the Huskies of UConn will take game number 2 and move to match point. Wow, what a game.
Hardly anything more to say than that. Just wow, what a game indeed. I mean, to me, the Huskies went from rock bottom to the top of Everest. Bearlight, they were scaring me. Like I said, with the double commits on defense, I thought Alvernia would be the one to run away with it. But no, the Huskies show that clutch factor, show the fangs on that finale of a game 2. Wow.
Yeah, Alvernia left scratching their heads a little bit. They had some great leadership and even a kickoff goal, so they're finding ways to get goals. They're finding ways to keep it close and even give themselves a chance in that game. They just weren't able to quite close it out. And so, obviously, you look for your leader. Tav was doing a good job in that moment. At some point, somebody's got to step up as well and really play that role. I thought Breadman did a great job defensively and play more of that balanced effort like we've seen from a lot of these teams here tonight would definitely go a long way. They certainly had their opportunities. There's no lack of that.
Well, and you need that balance in a game after game 1 where there were 8 goals, right? Someone needs to sort of neutralize the playing field. And so when you have someone like Breadman who is clinical on defense, yes, that will definitely suit Alvernia for some better setups here as this series continues. Speaking of which, game 3 underway. And reminder, folks, if you've been tuning in all night, best of 7s were what started the action today, but this one a best of 5, bringing Huskies to 1 game away from the win.
Well, grab yourself a snack from Winslow's Farm, maybe a G Fuel to go with it, and let's crank up here for this game number 3, see if the Huskies can close out. They've been extremely strong, but we've seen signs of life. They're challenging already, as you saw Cap try to make it interesting and try to put the Huskies in the driver's seat. Luckily for Alvernia, they were ready for it.
That's what I'm saying. With how close these games are, you gotta make it interesting just to open up a chance for your team. But who's gonna strike? Who's gonna be the one that when the spotlight's on them, they shine? Tav, you mentioned the captain. He's been setting up his team for success all day long. Almost does it there on the shot from Lord Bubble. Breadman wants to follow up. Here's another play off the backboard from Cap, but that puts Huskies back in front. Shot goes through. Tav just couldn't position himself in front of this one.
And Cap started that sequence from the ceiling, hopped right back down, grabbed a 12-pack, and he used every little bit of it to get in the position to beat Tav there too. So efficiency, not only in your placement, but where you're going, who you're setting up, and ready for the next play as well. Just being that step ahead have really benefited the Huskies in this series.
Oh, no, I do love that play, though. Get things moving right off the kickoff. Take a commanding lead here now as you've set the tone. But it shifted immediately. Lord Bubble capitalizes.
Yeah, it's you take risks. You went up. You saw 2 already committing, and then maybe not the best commit there from the 3rd man in. And once that happens, you've fully committed. There's nothing you can do except for just look back at your net and say, well, we should have been there. We were not Alvernia able to equalize.
Yeah, but Tav, I mean, the part of the reason that you saw defense that wasn't set was because Tav delivered that on a silver platter to Lord Bubble. I mean, again, showcasing that leadership, letting his teammates shine. Really lovely work coming out of Tav.
Noah to Lamb. Off the back wall it goes. Third man back, staying put here for the Huskies. After they got burned last time, maybe they learned from their mistakes and maybe overcorrected just a touch. But either way, no harm done. Lamb trying to get that extra touch and does, but actually it looked like he threw off a teammate instead of anybody from Alvernia. So we'll see if that plays a key factor. Not really. Cap is still on it, and so are the Huskies. As that one falls back down, no opportunity, but somehow Bubble was able to track it and just fall with them. And now it's Tav, buddy. The touch is just unfortunately to the corner instead of on target.
Felt like everything came together there. The perseverance of Alvernia on defense, then the counterattack. But I think Tav was just maybe 12 or 24 boosts away from making the right play on the turnaround. So unfortunate to see, but that's why resource management is talked about so much in Rocket League. You need that extra little boost on the turnaround just to make the play happen. Fortunately for Alvernia, they will not see that ball in. This one contested. Breadman sets up again, and the double kill may have opened the lane. No, all three collapse on the play.
Somehow Bubble almost found a little bit of gap between those three players that were diving at the ball basically at the same time, but nothing doing as eventually it closed its way over, and now it's the Huskies in full control. Tav trying to cut it away from them. Noah's here on the sidewall, has Lamb all the way back and needs him as Tav challenged him all the way up to the ceiling, was actually serving as a shot, but they were able to fight that one off as well. We remain deadlocked. Completely different field from what we saw from game number 1, isn't it, Pyro?
Oh, it is, but I think the right player will revel in this atmosphere. That being said, Lord Bubble, so close to making it happen. Yet Cap has taken a leadership role in this series, and that time around is going to do it on the goal line. Lord Bubble sends it away and is keen to make the defense be tested yet again. Noah, the catch, the release sits off the mark, and now Lamb wants to try again. Bumped for their efforts. Demoed on the defense. Everybody trying to clear the lane that's going to result in the winning goal.
Noah was an inch away from being able to equalize. He might have an opportunity on this run back down the field as well, but it was Brett to cut him off. Just a simple little arrow to hit it up the side of his car. Might have directed that last one on target. But now it's Tav. Looking for a good patience. The shot off the crossbar. The follow-up, they can't get it either. And Cap will just cut it away. And Alvernia, another opportunity they're just not able to capitalize on.
Oh, no. I feel like I'm watching the end of the movie and the villain is winning, but the villain is no team. It's just the crossbar. It's just the post. Alvernia is so close to being on target for this winning goal, yet they can't find it between the uprights. This open space could allow them to capitalize, but so many players back for boost. Now Lamb, we've seen the late game heroics before from the Huskies. Will we see it again? Passed denied by Lord Bubble.
Oh!
Bump is there. He's downfield. And instead, the final second in favor of Alvernia.
We haven't seen a bump or a demo very frequently in this series, and we knew it was going to be a timely one. That one, a bump on the third man back for the Huskies, right when they needed it most. Alvernia able to take the lead with 1 second left. The Huskies were clutch last time, so this one will be in the air as long as it doesn't hit the ground, which it will. Never mind. Cut that. Game 3 over. Alvernia able to win this one.
We knew we were going to see something crazy in the final seconds. That's just how this series has gone on. The fight that these teams are bringing makes you feel like this game's worth everything. And you know what? In a way, it is. Every match is an opportunity for these teammates, these players, to show off their banner, to show off their school, to show off what they're capable of. And Bear Light, clearly the late game heroics, everyone is capable of.
Yes, no doubt. Everybody on this pitch was extremely dialed in, and it maybe didn't start exactly off the bat in game number 1, but it woke up certainly for game number 2. And we've seen a whole lot of that as of late, and so you really feel like there is in any kind of any person to step up situation like we see from Northwood and Akron. That same level of play, the same thing applies here in this series. We've seen it a whole bunch, and we continue to play on because of it. As a very, very timely goal, should I say, and a clutch one at that, able to keep them alive for now.
Yeah, clutch as ever. I mean, at this point, my eyes are really on Lord Bubble I think the series started really nicely for this player, and now they're really coming into their own as this match goes on. We talk about some players who are finding their flow state, and for me, it's not everywhere for Lord Bubble, but it is on the finishing factor when the team really needs a goal to go. So, certainly some goal scoring opportunities going to transcend in game 4 as Huskies once again on that match point.
You got 2 more shots to close it out. If you're the Huskies, you just need 1. For Alvernia, back-to-back wins. And the last one wasn't exactly extremely convincing. Mind you, it got it done, but you want to see a little bit more in a big win to make a statement piece and say, hey, we are capable of the reverse sweep, which at the end of the day is necessary in order to get this win.
It's going to be a lot of work needed to make it look capable, because one game is something, but for how this match has swung every which way, again, I will never forget that 3-2 scoreline at the halfway mark of game number 1. We never know when this game is going to break loose, and all 3 jumping for Alvernia means that the Huskies have a way to score.
Listen, Noah's got a lot of fans in for a reason. Good patience there. You saw him wait for the chaos and just like, it looked like the apocalypse of just cars flying away from where the ball was. He's like, all right, yeah, I'll just take this matters into my own hands as a superhero. And a 1-0 lead for the Huskies this time. As I believe
Breadman was going to have a chance on that kickoff. I don't know. I was watching that, and it was a 1v1 situation. Breadman slowing it down, though. I'll trust the process here, Bear Life, for Alvernia. I'll let them cook.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what they're doing. That's what they have been doing since the get-go. And whether or not they're able to stick with it, that's yet to be seen. Here's Breadman up the back wall, trying to waterfall it down, looking for Tab, the captain. He'll be backing off of it instead. Bubble, the bump off one, but Lamb already up. Now looking for Noah. Far side, that extra touch will set him up for a touch of his own, but not one that he could direct on target, and all the way back to the Huskies' end will go.
Bubble, there it is again, and look at the quality shot forcing 2 defenders. Now look, the goal line is opened up, right? Even if Lord Bubble isn't necessarily getting the goal, they're putting the stepping stones down in order for their team to climb to success. And now on another possession, that's what you got to look out for. Who's forcing the tough saves out of the Huskies? This one bouncing ever so closely to the net as Tab picks up boost, cuts his teammate. He's ready to pop off. When the time has come, you gotta shine. And that does get saved as the Huskies try to stamp their foot on their goal line and keep every shot away.
Tab is being pesky, a little bit of a nuisance here as he stays here at midfield, and you see him it paying off. A very difficult dive back from Huskies, which should have been insanely easy, but everybody was diving for boost. Tab all over the boost pads, all over the bump plays, and really trying to cause some chaos in the back lines, be the king of chaos that you called off in earlier series, and they're trying to copy that strat right now.
That really comes down to the teammates that are best positioned, have been conserving their boost, and are just ready to make the saves that are necessary. But it's so difficult to do that in situations like this, Bearlight. Take a look at the replay. Both defenders, no boost. How do you make certain that you can save an incoming shot like that?
Again, yeah, exactly what I was talking about, except the other way, right? So both offensives knowing exactly what needs to be done. It's not as easy as just tapping a free one in like we saw in game 1. You have to actually think about it. Both teams know this and have had great boost control on the offensive side of the pitch. It's just which defense can handle it better, play efficiently and positionally in order to get the ball out of the zone when it's happening to you.
Here we go. Here's the turning point. There it has to be, at least for Alvernia University Gold. If you want to stake your claim in this match, if you really want to take the Huskies to 5, it's got to come through. Now, we've seen both teams have their clutch opportunity, but that doesn't mean it can't swing back the other way for Alvernia. Now Breadman, he's got the setup to Bubble. Bubble shot is going to be missed. It did force a little bit of a fake to allow Alvernia to continue this possession, though, in the very least. As Tab sets up for Breadman off the backboard, and he reads his own pass to the net.
The Huskies just missing in this one. Lamb played it and thought that Noah could get it. It just was an awkward Kareem off that little corner. And there's nothing you could do once you missed that ball. It was free open space. And although it looked a little bit sketch there for Alvernia, it was a good read from Breadman. It's happened in his own rebound, giving them an opportunity here with a minute remaining.
They're giving us the opportunity to enjoy a great match as well. I mean, we are down to a 1-point game with under a minute remaining as Alvernia have clawed their way back into this series. I mean, some of us thought this was over after the end of game 2, but maybe the story is just beginning. More bubble, double tap, sets the ball off the mark. Yet this one's high flying and in treacherous territory. Breadman gets the stop. Lamb gets the 50. Bubble's not there in time, and the save can't be made.
Oh, you think and rely on a teammate. And that's him. Oh, the bump from Bubble as well. And that's why Breadman saw them fall in the corner. Tried to take over and just wasn't having enough time in order to get back to it. And with 29 seconds left, now the Huskies all but can just hold on and kill some time here at this point. Or can they? Tav made it interesting there with a great challenge. Still on this one too, but a big clear yet again, this time by Noah. And this one might be the dagger off the crossbar, but it stays out.
Tav just doing everything he can. This time it's a pass over to Lord Bubble, but that's intercepted, and that is the last touch that the Huskies will need to make. Okay, that's the last touch they need to make. That got concerning for a moment, but congratulations to UConn Huskies. They'll take this one in 4.
Man, oh man. If you're just joining us, you missed a great series. At the end of the day, the Huskies won the first couple. Alvernia did steal one. It felt like they got some momentum going, that they were going to really swing something and force a game number 5. And as close as they were, it was just a hold down effort on the other side. So, again, credit where credit is due, as Huskies were able to win the early one. And in a best of 5, literally every game matters even more so than in a best of 7. And we saw that here paying off.
Ain't that the truth? It paid off here for UConn. And hey, congratulations to all our winners as well, Bearlight. What a day of Rocket League that we had. This one was the best of 5. Huskies over Alvernia Gold there from UConn. But we also had the wins from Akron Blue over Northwood in 5 games. And then you can't forget Oklahoma Christian taking the win against St. Clair Green in game 7. I mean, what a night for collegiate esports here on NECC.
It certainly was. We want to give a shout out, obviously, to all of our sponsors as well, including Winsel's Farm and G Fuel. As you see on your screen, you can use the code NECC20. Get yourself some G Fuel. This stuff is great. It'll keep you flying through some great matches like we saw on this NECC channel here tonight. Pyro J, final thoughts before we kick it.
Just amazing. I'm so happy to be here in the booth for NECC to watch these players rep their banner and show us the greatest Rocket League that we could have. Oh, and don't forget, guys, if you love the action here on NECC, we've actually got Overwatch 2 tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, so the same time that this broadcast got started. They don't want to miss that, Bear.
That's 100% accurate. Hey, join me, join Pyro J. We'll be with them tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern on this channel. Until next time, Pyro J, Bearlight, signing out. Take care, guys.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick.